Welcome back to North of the Lake for episode 3. It's been a tough little weekend for Louisiana football in general, man. It's been a tough week. I went live last night unexpectedly for the LSU game last night because I was so disturbed by LSU last night. I went live, talked about LSU. I thought the Saints was gonna make it better. I thought the Saints was gonna definitely get the win today, but they disappointed. So, like I said, it's a tough time for Louisiana sports fans right now because we took the L across the board pretty much. Outside of a couple wins, by I think Southern won 27 nothing over Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Grambling got the dub. Grambling won 35-20 over Prairie View. But man, it's been a tough week for Louisiana football. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, you are north of the lake for our weekly live sports talk. We're gonna have hopefully we have some guests today to give us some of their perspective. But let's get right into Tangent football week 5. We got North Shore over Ponchatoula 15-6. We got St. Thomas over Archbishop Hannon 60-39. We have Albany over Riverdale 31-13. We have Sahalina over Lafayette Renaissance 38-6. Springfield over Central Private 52-14. Kentwood took down Amite 13-7. Covington over Fountain Blue 40-14. LaRonja over Liberty Magnet 27-20. Independence got their first win of the season. Shout out to them. 16-6 over Dale High. Hammer High went down to St. Paul 23-0. My Tornadoes. Mandeville over Slidell. We got Jules Sumner 52-0 over Haynes Academy. LSU went down to Ole Miss 55-49. Louisiana Tech got the dub. Southeastern went down 14-13 to Tarleton State. Louisiana Lafayette go down to Minnesota 35-24. Like I said, I read that Southern score. Shout out to the Jags. Shout out to GSU. Tulane got the win, I see. 36-23 over UAB. Nichols beat McNeese 31-10. So, we got a couple dubs there for Louisiana. I guess some fans are okay today, but like I said, man, my Tornadoes went down to St. Paul 23-0. As far as Tangent football goes, LSU looked like they had to win, like they were the better team, but our defense just didn't come through last night for our LSU Tigers, man. Like I said, man, welcome in to North of the Lake for our weekly sports talk. We on episode 3, man. We just gonna keep getting better. I know y'all see that I'm home and I'm back in studio. I should be home for a while now, hopefully permanently. Like I said, I appreciate y'all tuning in every week and checking out what I got to say. So whatever I'm saying must mean something to y'all. So I'm gonna keep giving it to you every week on Sundays at 7 p.m. You can catch us on Twitter, you can catch us on YouTube, and you can catch us on Facebook going live. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe to us on YouTube and also on our Facebook lives. The quicker we can get monetized, the quicker we can bring y'all better quality material. It's only gonna get better for him. Like I said, if y'all been paying attention the last couple of weeks, I was on the road in my semi truck going live. Now I'm back in studio. I hope y'all enjoy the show today. Like I said, if y'all want to come into this live, please just send me a DM. I can see your comments on Facebook. So please comment and I respond to anything that you got to say. Right now, we are starting with Tangy football week 5. And like I said, we Independence, man. Shout out to Independence because I actually stay here in the Independence, so I try to keep an eye on the Independence Tigers. I believe they did get their first win of the season against Dale High. Shout out to the Independence Tigers. Oh man, Sumner, what's going on with Sumner? Sumner been blowing everybody out this year. If somebody knows something about Sumner, I haven't got a chance to watch Sumner this year yet, but Sumner been putting points up on everybody been playing. I've been reporting all of the scores for Tangible Hope Parish, and also this week I've added scores across the North Shore. So I also brought in some of the Livingston schools. I brought in Albany and Springfield. I made sure that I I have those scores as well. So yeah, it's like I said, welcome into North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk, episode 3. And like I said, I usually go to about 10 o'clock. So like I said, we're just gonna take our time with it tonight. I'm gonna give y'all some time to come up in here. Uh, and like I said, make sure y'all comment, give me y'all thoughts and opinions. Like I said, it was a pretty good week for tangible horror football. Like I said, Amy went down to Kentwood 13-7. Laranja pulled it off 27-20 over Liberty. Like I said, once again, shout out to the Independence Tigers getting their first win, 16-6 over Dale High. Like I said, it was a tough weekend for Louisiana football, especially me. Like I said, my Tornadoes went down to St. Paul. LSU went down to Ole Miss. I wasn't really expecting that. And the Saints just look like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about the Saints for the second straight week. I mean, if y'all was on the live last week, y'all already know how I feel about the Saints. Y'all know how I feel about Derek Carr. And we definitely got to get better as far as the Saints go, man. We definitely have to get better as far as the Saints go. But like I said, a lot of teams got the win in tangible horror football for week 5. Like I said, the scores are coming back around. I have all the scores from the North Shore. Ponchatoula went down to North Shore. St. Thomas got the win over Archbishop Hannon, 60-39. Albany took care of business against Riverdale, 31-13. Sahalina got the win over Lafayette. Renaissance, I believe that's how you pronounce it, 38-6. Springfield took care of business against Central Private, 52-14. Amy went down to Kentwood, 13-7. Covington over Fountain Blue. Laranja takes down Liberty Magnet, 27-20. Independence with their first win of the season, 16-6 over Dale High. My Hammer High Tornadoes went down to St. Paul, 23-0. Mandeville over Slidell. Like I said, Sumner is blowing out everybody this year, so I would love to get some tape on them. I don't see them on Huddle, and I'm getting ready to show a couple of the highlights, a recap of the highlights of some of our tangible whole teams, the ones that I could find on Huddle. I'm gonna chill out posting the YouTube video because every time I post that on YouTube, they always flag my videos. So I'm gonna have to try to find a different way to bring y'all the highlights. Just bear with me. I promise you it's gonna get better. Hopefully YouTube stop flagging the videos when I use highlights from YouTube. But I kind of figured that was gonna happen. I don't mind them taking it for monetization reasons. I just want to bring y'all that content. But like I said, it was a tough week for Louisiana sports in general. Just a tough week for Louisiana sports, man. And hopefully we can get some good news. Like I said, LSU got Missouri next week. That's not going to be a given by any stretch of the imagination. I think well, Missouri is 5-0. Missouri is 5-0. They can beat LSU. They always have a talented roster. You know, they just now in the SEC, but they not a pushover. Missouri has never been a pushover probably in the last 10 to 15 years. They always had a solid team out there in Missouri. So it's not going to be a easy task for LSU next week against Missouri. And like I said, if LSU don't pick it up, I can see LSU losing at least 2 to 3 more games, just depending on how the schedule goes. I mean, look at Alabama. Alabama's not playing their best football this year, but I think they can get better as their quarterback gets better. But right now we are talking Tangy football week 5. The scores are at the bottom. This is our 3rd episode of North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk Live. If you want to come into this live, just send me a DM, send me a text message, and I can get it over to you. I can get over the link and I can bring you into the live and we can debate live if y'all are familiar with the show. Y'all see me bringing in guests every week, even some of our high school athletes. And I want to shout out Fountain Blue High School football team. We had Bishop Davis on here. I believe it was last week. We had Bishop Davis on live, and he got a little cocky, man. And the kids from Fountain Blue inboxed me asking can they come defend themselves. And I thought that was great, man. Like I said, shout out to the Fountain Blue kids that inboxed me on last week wanting to come on the show. Like I said, any of our high school athletes that want to come on the show, please get verification from your coach. Have your coach text me, have a parent text me, and I can bring y'all on the show. But like I said, I want to shout out those two kids from Fountain Blue that inboxed me wanting to defend Fountain Blue over some comments that was made last week, man. I thought that was great because you know what I'm saying. That's how I am, just at heart. Like, I take it personal. I take things personal, when it comes to sports. And for them kids to hit me up and and want to come on the show and defend themselves and defend their school, that means everything to me, man. That's what it's about. That's what this is about, man. You don't let nobody just say anything about your school and everything like that, or because you definitely want to take pride in what you do and what you're doing. And those kids from Fountain Blue, man, they definitely slid in my DMs like, hey, man, look, we definitely want to come on the show and set things right because we're a better team than what people giving us credit for. So, man, I big ups to those kids. I don't want to say their name, man, because they didn't get permission from their coach yet. But I will have them on once they do. But shouts out to 6-5A football, north of the lake, what they call it, with all the North Shore schools in District 6-5A. And like I said, all the scores are at the bottom. Like I said, one of the biggest games in Tangipahoa Parish was Kentwood versus Amite, and Kentwood got that win on Amite. So that's a definite big win for them going forward. If they can beat Amite, usually when Kentwood beat Amite, they mean they're gonna go to the dome. It means they probably gonna win a championship because I don't think nobody on their schedule will be as talented as Amite probably going forward. And I think they still in 1A. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. They could be in 1 or 2A, Kentwood. These schools move so much now. I don't even know. I don't know what class a lot of these schools in no more. They change every year, seem like. But I think Kentwood got a path to the dome after they beat Amite. Like I said, that's usually their biggest test on their schedule in 1 or 2A. I can't remember if they came up or they went back down this year. But if somebody knows, please put it in the chat, and I can that can confirm that. Um, like I said, welcome into North of the Lake. I appreciate y'all joining me once again for week 3. This is episode 3 of our weekly live sports talk. We gonna get into more topics as y'all come in. I'm trying to wait for y'all to come in, and we're gonna get to it, man. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about those LSU Tigers. We got to talk about the Saints, man. This may be one of the worst years I've ever seen us having here in Louisiana when it comes to football. Truly, because I don't see any hope in LSU as far as the championship, and I definitely don't see any hope as far as a Super Bowl title for the Saints. I think both teams are not even close. The Saints and LSU is not even close to being in any type of championship consideration, especially after LSU went down to Ole Miss. So I mean, LSU probably still has a path to the SEC championship game, but they got to win out. And the way our defense playing, I'm not sure how possible that actually is for our defense at this moment in time. Like I said, y'all leave some comments, like, share, subscribe on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. I thank y'all for tuning in every week. Like I said, if y'all got any comments, anything that y'all want to talk about, any topics that comes to mind, I can definitely get it in. That's what I'm here for. I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear from the people that's giving me their time every week. So, and definitely shouts out to our Tangi athletes in Tangipahoa Parish and also in the surrounding areas, in St. Tammany and St. Helena Parish, Washington Parish, wherever you may be in this South region of Louisiana, or even if you're not in Louisiana at all, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you giving us your time. And like I said, all the scores at the bottom, all the North Shore scores across the region are on the bottom of the stream. Like I said, we had a lot of teams take care of business. We had a couple go down. The game of the week was Kentwood versus Amite. Kentwood beat Amite 13-7. That's always a good game. That's always a good rivalry. Always two talented teams. And like I said, as I stated before, I think Kentwood is on their way to the dome. Anytime that Kentwood can beat Amite, they can beat anybody in 2A, or even if they are still in 1A. Like I said, I haven't confirmed what class Kentwood is in. Let me look it up. Maybe I can look it up real fast. Let's see if I can find out what Kentwood is considered, what class Kentwood is considering. If anybody knows, please put it in the chat, in the comments. It's not saying it here, but like I said, I definitely like their chances this year after beating Amy. Definitely would give them a good chance to win it all this year in whatever division that Kentwood is in, man. So let's take a look at the highlights. I have a couple highlights. The only highlights that I could bring up was Hammond versus St. Paul and Ponchatoula versus North Shore. Unfortunately, both of our Tangi schools lost in those games, but that's the only highlights that I could bring up on our tangible horror teams for this week. And like I said, let me pull up those highlights and I can get them over to you. First, we're gonna start off with the Hammond High Tornadoes this week against St. Paul. Like I said, this is only the Hammond side of the highlights. This is all I could find on Huddle. I think that's Leon Ransberry with the run on that play for my Hammond High Tornadoes. Our quarterback making it to the edge, freshman. He is only a freshman. He's going to get a lot better. Here's a nice pick by Javion Jones, a Miami Fitness athlete. Nice pick, nice return for our Hammond High Tornadoes. And this is Jermaine Davis, 2024 Southeastern commit on the run, number 22, with a nice run. This is Eli Johnson on the carry. These are a couple highlights from the game. And this was the final breakdown of the game. It was 23-0 St. Paul over Hammond. Total yards for St. Paul, 245 yards with 69 passing yards with 176 on the ground. Hammond comes in at 173 yards, 10 passing yards, 163 yards on the ground. I was at that game, and I can tell you that Hammond High definitely ran the ball really well. We just got to clean up some things, and I think we're a young team, and that Hammond High is going to be all right. Shouts out to St. Paul on that win. They definitely played their best game to in order to be victorious, and so it was definitely St. Paul definitely did what they had to do. And like I said, let's move on to this let's move on to the Ponchatoula versus North Shore game. I haven't got a chance to watch these highlights. We have a couple Miami Fitness athletes, Jacob Robinson, and we have one second. And we have Bishop Davis as well, who was on here last week. But we're getting ready to share with you the Ponchatoula versus North Shore game. Like I said, this is only going to be Ponchatoula highlight side of the highlights because they that's all I could find. Bishop Davis with a 14-yard run. Shout out to Bishop Davis, was on here last week. I see you, Bishop. We got a 20-yard run here. This is Ponchatoula versus North Shore. Bishop Davis on the carry. Ooh, nice move. Nice move. Nice move to get to the outside. And this is Joseph Jackson up the middle. Nice, powerful run. Now we got back to Bishop. Like Bishop gonna get a 2-yard touchdown run. Let's see. So I didn't get a chance to watch Ponchatoula highlight. Let's see what we got here. Up the middle for the touchdown. I said these are the highlights from the Ponchatoula versus North Shore game. Like the receiver fell down, easy pick for Ponchatoula. Like I said, this is courtesy of Huddle. These are, I guess, the outstanding players from that game. You can check out their stats. Shouts out to Huddle. Like I said, man, Huddle is an amazing platform. And they got Bishop Davis as player of the game. They gave it to Bishop, but North Shore won the game. That's very interesting. I don't think these stats are. I don't think those stats from that game was too accurate. To be honest with you, on the side of Huddle, I don't think those stats were too accurate, but they gave you a good idea of what our tangent teams did. Like I said, those were the only teams that I was able to get their film from this week on Huddle. So I guess some of the schools may be a little late on that. But like I said, Hammond had their highlights up, and Ponchatoula had their highlights up via Huddle. Like I said, man, Huddle is an amazing platform. I wish we had that when I was in school. I don't know where it was when I was in high school, but that's an amazing platform for these high school kids, these high school athletes in Louisiana and around the country, man. I'm telling you, that's an amazing platform to get your footage out there. Anybody can view it, you can send it anywhere, anybody can log in. Like I said, I have a Huddle account, and that's how I was able to bring you that footage. Like I said, all the scores are at the bottom for the North Shore. We have the LSU score, and we have some college. We have Louisiana colleges in Louisiana, and we had that Saints game. And we're gonna get more in depth to college football here in a minute. Like I said, just giving y'all some time to come into the live. If you are watching, please leave us a comment. Please give us your insight on football this week, man. Like I said, it was a very, very tough weekend to be a Louisiana sports fan, man. It really was, bro. It was a tough weekend. Man, it was a tough weekend. I seen some horrible football across the board this weekend, man. I seen some horrible football being played on the local level, in Baton Rouge. And the Saints, man, I don't think Derek Carr's the answer. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We'll get a little deeper into that later, but I don't believe Derek Carr is gonna get us where we need to go. That's just me. I don't think Derek Carr is going to get the Saints to the promised land. Like I said, I think this is still a talented Saints team. I think it's a talented Saints team. I just think that we have to get the right things in place, man. The defense is still talented. Like I said, I even think the Saints need to look at a quarterback in the first round. But like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep on that as of yet. Welcome into North of the Lake. This is our weekly Sports Talk Live, episode 3. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like I said, this is North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk Live, episode 3. We're gonna get into them Tigers. We're gonna get into the Saints right here in a minute. I got a lot to say about my LSU Tigers. I got a lot to say about the Saints. Just bear with me. Like I said, the scores are at the bottom. We have all our North Shore teams on the North Shore. All the scores at the bottom. We have all the schools in Louisiana. We have that Southern score. We have the Grambling score. We're trying to keep y'all informed that way. You ain't got to go watch ESPN. You can just come chill north of the lake, and we got you. We got all the information that you need at the bottom of the screen for all your local, all your college, and all and them Saints. You know, I don't cover the NFL too exclusively, but I am gonna talk about the Saints later. You know, and it had some interesting thing go on this weekend. You know, Dion and Colorado gave USC a run for their money towards the end. At first, the game was kind of got away from Colorado, but late they made it very interesting down there in Boulder. So shout out to Coach Prime. Like I said, I think if you give him another year or two, I think Colorado is gonna be a top 15 school. If he get a couple more interior guys on the line of scrimmage, both offense and both defense, you know, on the defensive line. So I think the sky's the limit for Colorado, man. And Shadir Sanders is playing out his mind. I think Shadir Sanders is a legit Heisman candidate for Colorado. I truly believe that. I truly believe that because he's been playing some good football no matter what the competition has been. And even times where his line, where the offensive line can't protect Shadir Sanders, he still finds a way to manage the offense and to not make the big mistake. And like I said, even when he's under duress, he can buy time to throw the ball. That's what Derek Carr has not been doing. I'll take Shadir Sanders with the Saints right now. Derek Carr has not, even when Derek Carr buys time, it seems like he still can't get the ball into his playmakers' hands. Like sometimes he'll have time, and you know, maybe no one is open, but he'll set in the pocket, and then when things finally break down, he tries to escape, and now he doesn't have a lot of time. Once he do try to improvise and on the play, man, I don't know what's going on with Derek Carr. I've seen Derek Carr play better football than this. I actually was hoping the Saints signed Derek Carr once he became a free agent with the Los Angeles Raiders. I'm sorry, Las Vegas Raiders. They done changed their name. They got me all screwed up. But once he left the Raiders, you know, I kind of want the Saints to go after Derek Carr because I seen Derek Carr play at a high level, but that's not what he's showing right now. So far, his stats look very pedestrian. If I'm not mistaken, he only threw maybe about 600 yards so far, and maybe a couple touchdowns through 5 games. Through what is it? Yeah, through 5 games now. It's been 5 games for the NFL. So I don't know how much more time should we give Derek Carr to prove itself? Like how much more time should we give Derek Carr to prove itself? That you know, and then it's the money that they gave him. You know, he didn't get Patrick Mahomes money or anything like that, but he's making enough, man, to where he needs to be held accountable for the play that he's putting out on the field. Like today, if Derek Carr wasn't healthy today, he should have never dressed out. He should have never tried to give it a go, man. Because it was times in that game I thought we should have gave Jameis Winston a crack at it because I feel like he had not really gain any momentum in that game. It's like he even when we had some receivers open, I saw a couple high throws. I saw a couple I seen a couple inaccurate throws by Derek Carr, even when he had time at times. So you know, I don't know if it was that shoulder injury that was nagging him, but I thought at some point Dennis Allen should have made a quarterback change in that game, especially when it got late because we didn't move the ball Um, at all on offense, pretty much. Alvin Kamara had some nice runs. I thought the running game was there. I thought we should have stuck with the running game a little while longer. Then I thought we should have been more patient in the run game. But it seemed like, especially early, like if you look at the attempts that Derek Carr had versus his production, he only threw like 130 something yards a day. Let me confirm that. I think I have it pulled up here. Let's see. Yeah, so Derek Carr was 23 of 37, 127 yards, no touchdowns, no turnovers, but for 37 attempts to only have 127 yards, that's a problem. 37 attempts, only 127 yards. He averaged 3.4 yards a throw. That's all time low. Like that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. I mean, like I said, Derek Carr, man, I'm not sure if he's hurt. I'm not sure what the case may be, but is he the answer at quarterback? Is Derek Carr the answer at quarterback? The numbers it's not saying so. The numbers is not in his favor right now. Like I said, I have his stats pulled up here. Derek Carr today was 23 of 37. He threw 37 passes and only got 127 yards. On the other hand, Baker Mayfield over there balling. And Baker Mayfield making a lot less than Derek Carr right now. Baker Mayfield went 25 of 32, 247 yards, 246 yards. I'm sorry. 7.7 yards a throw. 3 touchdowns. He had that interception. But Baker Mayfield outplayed Derek Carr. Simple as that. I don't understand how you can have that many attempts and that less of yards. He had 37 attempts today. Derek Carr. 37 attempts. Only 127 yards. I just don't see the production there. And I'm not sure if we ever going to see the production from Derek Carr, because Oakland pretty much just kicked him out. Oakland just pretty much released Derek Carr. And that was cause for concern for me when it happened. I was like, I thought the Saints. Give me 1 second, y'all. I had to respond back to a text message, but like I said, is Derek Carr the answer? Man, like I said, let's see his stats for the season. Let's see Derek Carr's stats for the season. For the season, Derek Carr is. Let's see if they got his actual completion. Regular season. Okay. For the season, Derek Carr is 80 completions, 124 yards. I'm sorry, 124 attempts. So he got 80 completions, 124 attempts, 763 yards, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns through 5 games. Once again, through 5 games, Derek Carr has 80 completions, 124 attempts, and he only threw for 763 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That ain't enough. I don't know what his contract was, but I know it was in the hundreds of millions. His contract was in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And I think he's not that much better than Jameis. And Jameis is not making nearly as much. But Jameis gave us a better sample size the season before he had that. I think he had a knee injury against the Patriots it was either a Sunday or Monday night that Jameis Winston had that knee injury when he went down. And he had 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions that year. Derek Carr has not showed me that he could play better than Jameis Winston. Let's check our comments here. Shout out to my niece. She's telling me a good job. Thank you, niece. I appreciate you for tuning in, my baby. Shout out to my niece, Kanaya. Shout out to my niece, Kanaya. But I don't know if Derek Carr is the answer. I don't know if he's the answer. Y'all, please give me some comments. Give me some feedback. Please tell me I'm not being crazy. I'm not being emotional. But I just feel like Derek Carr is not the answer. And even we got to start looking at Dennis Allen as well. We got to start looking at Dennis Allen. We have to look at Dennis Allen. Is he getting the job done? On defense, yes. I can't blame Dennis Allen. I think we need a different offensive identity. Now that Sean Payton is gone, the offense don't look the same with Pete Carmichael. Pete Carmichael is not as creative with the offense like Sean Payton. So you can see what Sean Payton actually brought to the offense versus what Pete Carmichael brought to the offense. When Sean Payton was a coach, you never knew what was coming. You never knew what was coming with Sean. He just threw screens at you. He threw some misdirection. Sean Payton was the type of coach that can coach you into a win. He was one of the few coaches, maybe outside of Bill Belichick, that can actually coach his team into a win, no matter who's the quarterback, no matter who's at running back, no matter who is rushing the passer. It's like they find those guys that can just plug and play in their system. And I don't think Dennis Allen is that type of coach. I truly don't believe that. I don't believe Dennis Allen is that type of coach. I really don't. The Saints look horrible on offense. Defense is still holding it down for us. Defense is still holding it down for the Saints, but offensively right now, I don't think we just it's kind of the opposite for LSU and the Saints right now. The Saints used to have all the offense in the world, no defense. Now that we have a defense, we can't find a lick of offense. Now LSU has an explosive offense. We can't find any defense. For years, but besides that year with Joe Burrow, that this pretty much what LSU was. LSU was a strong defensive team with a lackluster offense. Now everything has flipped the switch. The Saints don't have any offense. They got a good defense. And that used to not be the case. So, like I said, as far as Derek Carr go, man, I got to see more from Derek Carr. To justify that contract, to justify the Saints bringing him in, and I think that's why they are sticking with him because of that contract, because his play has not been great. I think Jameis can give us more production on the offensive side than Derek Carr at this point, after watching for 5 weeks. I think we've seen a big enough sample size now to say Derek Carr is not getting it done. He's just not getting it done. Let's be real with ourselves about this, man. Everybody, I ain't seen he ain't outside of a couple throws this year to where it kind of closed the game out. He has been very mediocre. Other than a couple throws this year, man, it's just like even when he has time, it's like he don't get the ball out of his hands. He don't get the ball to his check downs. Like I said, I just don't believe in Derek Carr at this point. This team could have went as far as Derek Carr took them, and I don't think he can take us anywhere. You always heard the criticism about, all the criticisms about Derek Carr. And, I always kind of thought he was a kind of like that Kirk Cousins type of quarterback who don't get the credit that they deserve. But now seeing it up close, watching it closely as a Saints fan, I can kind of see what people was talking about in the media about Derek Carr. I can kind of see why the Raiders kind of gave up on Derek Carr. I can kind of see why. And like I said, what kind of saddens me a little bit is like Jameis never got the opportunity to really show himself as a franchise quarterback with the Saints. Like I said, he had that year where he went 14-3, and he had that injury, and he didn't come back to the next year. The next year he came back, yes, he struggled early, but I don't think he struggled as much as Derek Carr is struggling right now. If you ask me, he struggled that next year. He came back off of that 14-3 interception year. He came back and he struggled early. Not as much as Carr. Like I said, Derek Carr is getting a lot longer leash than what Jameis Winston got, if you ask me. How much longer are they going to go on before they actually make a change at quarterback or think about making a change at quarterback? He's just not getting it done. And the only reason why I'm campaigning for Jameis, I believe Jameis gives us more mobility. He gives us more mobility. I think he can. We don't have the greatest offensive line this year. We don't have the greatest offensive line this year, so I can understand it. Why Derek Carr is under pressure, but that's why I also think that Jameis give us a better chance to win. I think Jameis Winston gives us the best chance to win at this point. At this point, because I think Jameis can buy more time to throw, and you can criticize Jameis all you want to about the interceptions, but I kind of like that guy that just I like that gunslinging guy that don't mind taking chances, because half of those chances are gonna pay off. Because it's not like Jameis is just a guy who can't throw the ball. Jameis is an accurate thrower of the football, And that's the only reason why I'm campaigning. I'm campaigning for James. Number one, I like James. I've been liking James ever since he came out of Florida State and won the Heisman. I always been a fan of James Winston. Always been a fan of James Winston. I do believe Coach Maryland is getting ready to join us. Like I said, right now we is talking. Is Derek Carr the answer at quarterback? At this point, I'm not convinced. Am I ready to give up on him? Not quite, but the same things keep repeating themselves every week with with Derek Carr. It's just I'm seeing too much of the same to feel any other type of way about it right now. You know, so we definitely need to see some improvement. Like I said, welcome into North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk Live. Like I said, all the scores are at the bottom of the screen. All the scores are at the bottom of the screen. Like I said, I went through the scores before. Like I said, the game of the week in Tangy was probably Kentwood versus Amy. Kentwood beat Amy 13-7. That was a good game. I can't wait to watch the film on that game. I haven't got to that game yet. Like I said, I was trying to find the highlights on Huddle, but they had not been posted yet. I did play the Hammond versus St. Paul, Ponchatoula versus North Shore. If you go a little bit back in the live, like I said, it's been a rough week for Louisiana football. Like I said, we was just talking. Is Derek Carr the answer at quarterback? Please share your comments. And like I said, we're getting ready to welcome in Coach Maryland. And let's check on them the U-High boys over there. What's going on, Coach?
What's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, man. Look, it's been a rough week, man.
I see that.
it's been a rough week, man.
I see
Good
that.
job, man. Man, how y'all boys did this Friday, man?
Man, we won, man. We won 49-14.
Okay.
It was homecoming for us, It was good, man. We had an early thing. We went halftime. It was 42-0. Man, we just trying to get it. We're just trying to stay healthy, man. That's the main thing for us. When we play games like that, when we feel like we have the upper hand, we're just trying to hurry up, and get the 42, fast as we can. Because I don't know if now they changed the rule where it's up. As soon as it's 42-0, they do run a clock now.
I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much like a Mercer rule now.
Correct.
So if you up 42 points at halftime, the rest, so they don't stop the clock for anything, not even a timeout.
They'll stop it for a timeout.
Okay.
They'll stop it for a timeout, and they'll stop it for a hydration timeout, which I think this should be the last week for hydration timeout because with the weather,
right,
how hot it was, stuff like that. I think it's every 6 minutes, every quarter, we take a hydration timeout. So. But it was a good win for us, though, man. We traveled to Mississippi this week. We played Lawrence County, Mississippi. Kind of a new opponent for us. We had a film breakdown on them today, and it looked pretty good, though, man. They kind of young. I know they lost a lot from last year, so just hopefully, man, we go in there with a good week of practice. Preparation. The kids be focused. Just try to go up there and handle business.
Oh man, like I said. Y'all dedicated group. Like I said, I've been bragging on y'all, man. Y'all come in on Sundays and put that work in. Like I said, I don't know too many teams that do that. Man, shout out to y'all and the success on y'all season, man. Like I said, y'all definitely got a nice program going over there. Like I said, I see y'all definitely. I think you told me y'all got like at least 7 D1 athletes. That's getting looked at by D1 schools.
Yeah.
So man, that's definitely a powerhouse. Sound like to me, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Most definitely, like I said, and you hit it right on top of the head, man. It's like those lesser opponents, who we go into the game with with a boatload of confidence. That's kind of when a lot of teams struggle, especially early.
Right.
That's been the story of the season, man. Like I said, how much football you got to watch this weekend?
I did watch the LSU game.
Oh man, we're about to get to
it. I pretty much watched a lot this weekend, honestly. Only thing I just can't watch the Saints on Sunday, man, because like I said,
right.
we leave.
Oh, you didn't miss anything. Cool. you didn't miss anything, man. We just look, man. I don't know what's going on, man. And like I said, right before you came, I was asking, man, is Derek Carr the answer at quarterback, man? Because I don't know if you got to watch any highlights or anything this season, but for the money that the Saints gave Derek Carr, I'm starting to ask myself, would we been better off with Jameis? What we have been better off with Jameis and investing that $100 million into maybe a better offensive line, a couple more pass rushers. It's starting to look like that was wasted money, man. What you think about that?
Well, I didn't like it from the get go when they signed Derek Carr, because I felt like Jameis Winston really can lead the Saints team. And when I saw the money that they gave him, and I'm like you, I said, man, they could have really invested that towards another position.
Yes.
But now I see how they brought Gruden in over the summer, trying to work with him, trying to implement some of the offensive things, the West Coast things he was doing with Derek Carr. Now, if John Gruden was the OC with the Saints and having Derek Carr, I believe it'd be a different story, honestly. But I think the type of scheme that the Saints running with Carmichael, I think it's dead now, man.
That's what it's looking
for
like.
A change, no, but from the quarterback position, like when I saw the alert, when I got it from Bleacher Report this morning, I saw that Derek Carr was starting. I said that's a mistake. If it was me, I would have held him back and I'd let Jameis Winston start today.
Well, see the thing about it, I didn't even know that Derek Carr was going to be healthy enough to even come into this game at all. Because, it was a shoulder injury. I'm like, man, you don't really bounce back from a shoulder injury that fast. And I was really expecting Jameis Winston to get the start today.
Right.
I really was. And I thought he was going to give us that spark.
Right.
And at times through this game, if you watch the game, man, it's times in this game where Derek Carr struggled to get the ball out of his hands. Like sometimes he probably had the best protection he's had all season in this game, but he holds on to the ball for a very long time. And you think, okay, well, he's gonna create. And even when he runs to create, it's like he sometimes he'll take a sack or he just will just, I don't know. I don't know if it's more of the scheme or more of his choices at this point. But like I said, this is week 5, man. Let me read you his stats the week 5, cuz. Derek Carr through week 5, he has completed 80 passes, 124 attempts, 763 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions through 5 games right now. Man, that's, and I see people criticizing Justin Fields. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are we really getting that much better quarterback play out of Derek Carr at this point? And I see everybody wants to criticize Justin Fields right now, man. But our quarterback in New Orleans ain't at least Justin Fields can run around a little bit, create. You know what I'm saying? And right now, like you said, I think the Saints would have been better keeping that money because Jameis. People tend to forget the season Jameis was having before he got injured. In that Patriots game, I believe it was either Sunday or Monday night that Jameis Winston went down.
Mm-hmm.
And for the season, Jameis Winston had 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. I think through week 5. So let's compare what Derek Carr is doing this season versus what Jameis Winston did that season before he got injured. Right? 14 interceptions. 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions through week 5. I'm starting to think we made a mistake, man. straight up, I'm starting to think we made a mistake with Derek Carr. Like I said, like our offensive line need help, man. Our pass rush could be better. Those are positions that probably can keep us out of the playoffs right there.
Right,
man.
right. And man, going back to Derek Carr, man, I'm not saying he's a bad player, man, but it's just it's a scheme. I think I truly believe it's the scheme, man, that Carmichael and them using with them, man. I think Carmichael's so caught up to, trying to implement, what Sean Payton was able to do with Drew Brees and stuff. You can't do that with Derek Carr.
You cannot do that.
You can't do it, man. So I hope hopefully something change offensively, man. Like I said, I'm a big Jameis Winston guy.
Me too.
I love the way he compete, he play the game.
Me too.
I just hope he get a chance, man, a fair chance, honestly.
That's what I was saying earlier, man. I feel like the Saints didn't give him a fair chance. Like last year, when he started last year, he also had an injury last year to his back. Mm-hmm. But he got off to a slow start. No slower start than what Derek Carr has got off to. Right. He got off to a slow start, but they didn't give him, like, once he went down with that injury, they kind of went with what's your boy name? Andy Dalton. Mm-hmm. They went with Andy Dalton, and they kind of stuck with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton didn't play great, but he played okay. You know what I'm saying? You know, he is a veteran in the league. He's kind of on that same tier with Jameis and these guys who never won a championship, but has had great years. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I feel like Jameis never got a fair chance in this situation. After you, I mean, how did you? I don't think it's a fluke that you go throw 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the NFL.
Right.
That's not a fluke, man. And it was definitely a compliment to Sean Payton's offense too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this even, and this is one of my takeaways too. You can tell me what you think about this. I think if Sean Payton was still the coach, I think things would look a lot better right now.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
because Sean Payton was more multiple, man. He
Mm-hmm.
had different ways. He had so many different ways he can attack a defense, man. It just
Mm-hmm.
you never knew what to expect next. Now everything under Carmichael looks kind of vanilla.
Right.
I don't see the screen game really implemented a lot anymore. I don't see the misdirection, and it just everything looks vanilla right now.
Right.
Versus with Sean, man. When Sean had a touch on the offense, you just never knew what to expect. And even with some of those Teddy Bridgewater, even with some of the lower tier quarterbacks, they were able to come into Sean Payton offense and have some success.
Right.
You see, and now that he's not there, they say, well, it's the same system with Pete Carmichael. I don't think so, man. I think Sean had his hand a little heavier on things
Oh
than
yeah.
what people actually
Oh
realize,
yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
because Jameis Winston almost turned into a actual Pro Bowl quarterback that year. If he plays the rest of that year, let's just say he stays on the same path, on the same pace that he was at, he was going to at least throw 30 touchdowns and maybe 6 interceptions that year. That's a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah.
If you could do that with Jameis Winston, and like I said, I don't know if Carr's that guy, man. I don't know if Carr's that guy, man. It just, you know, I just feel hopeless right now with Louisiana football, man. Look, bro, I feel so, and I don't think I have ever felt, because it's usually either or. It's usually the Saints are very good or LSU is very good. It's
Mm-hmm.
usually either or. Now, man, it's just like we ain't got nothing to look forward to going into Saturdays and Sundays, man. It used to be, LSU was always going to be the best team on the field. We had Drew Brees, so it was just like, it was just, man. It was a good. I think we took those times for granted, man.
Right.
I truly think we took that Breeze era for granted, and also those great LSU defenses we had. We had something to look forward to every Saturday, every Sunday, man. And I think we done got away from that. I
Right.
truly think we done got away from that, man. But I don't even want to talk about Derek Carr no more, man. Let's let's get on these Tigers, man. I know you seen this game here, bro. Now, I came in a little late on this game because ESPN said it was starting at 6 p.m. on the app. I guess it was Eastern time or something. So I'm thinking the game coming on at 6 is actually on at 5. My pops calls me and tell me the game. I said, man, I know I seen 6 on the app, man. So
Yeah.
I have to get caught up a little bit, man. Give me your biggest takeaway from that LSU versus Ole Miss game?
Nobody can complain about the offense no more because
Can't.
I think the offense changed. I mean, they started. I think Diggs really solidified the number one spot, like we talked about last week. Because I think
Right.
overall he's the best running back, that LSU has. It's the defense, man. Look. I know people go back and forth saying we need to fire Matt House, we need to do this with him and all that. But you gotta look at what type of players you have on the field, though.
Right.
That's my thing, man. And
Right.
I hate to be the type of person, but I think LSU, I think they made a mistake by firing O. And my reason behind that is he can recruit. The last two LSU coaches, you gotta go back and look at it. Now, when you had Les Miles there, everybody was complaining, oh, he want to run the ball, he want to do this. But you gotta remember, LSU always had the best O-line in the country at the time. They always kept a defense.
They always kept a defense.
When Orgeron came in, we say the same way. But I think the only thing that kind of helped, that dampened him a little bit when Joe Brady had left.
Yeah.
I think that really took a lot out of O, man, because he couldn't find nobody else to replace that type of firepower that he had. But when he left, man, LSU had, you gotta look at now. If you go back and look at the recruiting class O had when he was there to the time he got fired, look how many the 5-star guys decommitted went somewhere else.
Right. Exactly.
And I think Brian Kelly, I think he's a good coach, but I don't think he's used to how we do it down here, down south.
And it's starting to show.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to show now. It's definitely starting to show, and like I said, it's not the offense problem. I think from now, like from here on out, they gonna put up the points. I think they already unleashed Jay Daniels. They gonna let him throw it downfield. It's just the defense, man. It's
And
really
let me get in there, cuz I think Jaden Daniels is having a Heisman season right now.
he is
And his defense is failing him. Those guys in that defensive room needs to come together some type of way, man, and apologize to Jaden Daniels right now. LSU defense, like I said, I went live last night. I didn't even plan on going live last night. I just had to express my frustration. It had to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Bro, listen to me. That defense is failing this man. He's doing everything he can to pull off these wins. And we still got some LSU fans calling for Garrett Nussmeier. Do you understand if Jaden Daniels is not our quarterback these last 2 seasons, we probably 6-6 at best, especially last year. Last year we 6-6, maybe not even that. We maybe don't even have a winning record if it's not for Jaden Daniels last year and definitely this year. And it's a shame, man, because like I said, he's been criticized so much, and for him to be carrying the load like he is, the man had over 500 yards total offense last night. He was, I still remember the stat. He was 27 of 36, 414 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had another 90 something yards and a touchdown on the ground last night. And our defense, I don't think our defense, I might not even be exaggerating with this stat, cuz I think our defense missed like 50 tackles last night.
I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Man, I don't think that's an exaggeration. Like, it seemed like Ole Miss, whatever they wanted, they took it and they got it. It had a simple toss play out of shotgun to the running back. We couldn't stop it all night. 10 yards a pop. Defensive end is crashing down every time, not setting any contain on the edge. This is the first time I've ever seen a team consistently get the edge on the LSU defense. Our DBs playing 10 yards off at LSU. At DBU, we got DBs playing 10 yards off. And then if you're gonna play that far back, you got to come up and make the tackle, man.
Right.
Usually we see just craziness at that line of scrimmage at LSU. Mm-hmm. If you throw those little screens out there, you would be lucky if you get 1-2 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Our DBs usually come up and tackle well, and they also cover well. Right. We don't have that. Last night, man, we just looked like we was not the most talented team on the field. And that's the first time I've ever seen it. And like I said, that goes back to recruiting, like you mentioned earlier. That goes back to recruiting. And you brought up a good point. When they fired Orgeron, we had a lot of transfers, we had a lot of decommits. And I remember tweeting this. One of my partners, I played high school football, Ryan Damiano. Me and him had a discussion on Twitter when they hired Brian Kelly. I said, what we run the risk of with hiring Brian Kelly, we are running the risk of going back to the Les Miles era. Don't get me wrong, Les Miles brought in the talent, right? But the system that Les Miles had was not conducive to winning in the SEC. When he won that championship in 2007, we won it with 2 losses. Let's not forget that. We lost to Arkansas and we lost to Kentucky, who was probably middle of the pack SEC teams at that time. They just called us on the right night. And I warned that we can go back into that style of football, man. Because, like I said, we have the offense. The offense is there. It's like the script has flipped. And I even mentioned in the last lives we did, man, why are we recruiting tight ends, man? You know, I mean, ain't nothing wrong. You're an OC. I know it's nothing wrong with having a great tight end. But at an SEC school, you need DBs, you need receivers, you need that skill position to be elite. Now, at receiver, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas balling all season long. If it wasn't for them guys, man, if it wasn't for that 3-headed monster, that Jaden Daniels, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors, I don't know where we would be this season.
Right.
Especially without our quarterback. Right. On the defensive side of the ball, man, that D-line, we got to call that D-line out, man. I'm sorry. Somebody got to do it. I don't think our head coach is doing it. We got 2 All-Americans on our defensive line. We are barely getting to the quarterback. We are barely getting penetration in the backfield. Teams are running on us, doing whatever they want to do. Our linebackers, our linebackers don't have that speed like they used to. Is like I'm telling you, teams can do whatever. Anything to the edge, you can do it on LSU.
Right.
Anything to the edge, you can do it against LSU, man. It's not what I'm used to seeing from an LSU defense. Usually, man, I'm used to, I guess, like I said, my shout out to Tony, my barber, man. He said I'm a spoiled LSU fan. He said I don't remember what it was like back in the 80s when we was barely winning, in the 90s. He called me a spoiled LSU fan, bro. I'm used to showing up and LSU being the best team on the field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not having no worry. Only thing I'm worried about is coaching. That's usually how we go into a game, with that type of arrogance, with that type of confidence. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just like, man, can we stop somebody?
Right.
Like, I can see us losing 2 more games this year. I can see us losing to Florida. I can see us losing to A&M. And I definitely can see us losing to Bama. We might lose 2 or 3 games going forward. It's very possible. So,
you know what? Yeah, let me pull a schedule. Let me see what we got.
Yeah, pull the schedule up and we can count wins and losses right now. I don't think we're gonna beat A&M. I'm just being honest, but A&M probably got one of the best offenses in the SEC as well, right along with LSU and Bama. And I don't think we got a real good chance against Bama either, because I think Bama is gonna make the necessary stops to keep us. Go ahead.
This Saturday. Missouri at Missouri. You got Auburn, Army, Alabama.
On live, dog. I'm listening to you, cuz. Yeah, man. Oh, I sent you a link. Come on in live, man. I got you. But just like I said, as soon as you're ready, just jump in the live. All right. My bad, cuz. Go ahead with it.
Oh, you good, man? You good?
Missouri, let's go.
Auburn,
all right.
Army, Alabama, Florida, Georgia State, and Texas A&M.
Man, I count 3 losses, and if we go in there playing Missouri next week, that's gonna be a loss. I'm telling you right now. If we go in there playing with them boys, bro, because whatever the case may be, Missouri has been consistent. Like, they may not have been the best team in the SEC. Not one year, but they have been consistent 8-4 team that's gonna play some offense, play some pretty good defense, and push every opponent to, and it's like they had Florida numbers since they've been in the SEC. Like, they beat Florida just about every year. Seem like I don't know what's going on between that little matchup, but I see 2 more losses for sure. I don't think we're gonna beat Bama. I'm just being honest. I don't think we got what it takes to beat Bama on the defensive side. Can we score with them? Absolutely. I can see that being I can see both teams being in the 40s in that game. I can see that with the LSU Alabama game. But this Ole Miss game was very crucial, because this was a game that we couldn't afford to lose because of who we got left on our schedule. This was a game that we should have won too. Like I said, go up. I think we go up 49 to 40 at one point or something, or 49 to 42. Whatever the case may have been, I think we was up at least about two scores. And I'm like, okay, this goes back to what I was saying in the Florida State game. It's like when we need that play to get us 5 yards or first down, it's like we don't have it. It's like we don't have an answer. And the call that you do call in those crunch situations seem like it's always questionable. It's like, okay, why did you do that?
Right.
Like, on that last drive we had on offense where we could have got it in the end zone, I feel like we had a great opportunity to do so. We had procedure penalties all night long. We had too many men on the field, probably like 3 or 4 times. That goes down to coaching and game planning right there. We definitely gotta hold the coaches accountable on that. On that type of stuff. And then, like I said, that last drive, I feel like we didn't have that play to get the ball in the end zone. It's like it's just not creative enough for me for the quarterback that you have. Like, with the type of quarterbacks you have, like Jay and Daniels has times where he may not be that accurate on his deep balls, but the last 2 weeks, man, he's been firing on all cylinders as far as that deep ball go, man. So it's really no weakness in Jaden Daniels' game right now, and I just feel like in those times where we need to put the game away for some reason we cannot. And then you're like, and knowing the type of defense that you have to get creative on offense. You
Right.
have to you in that type of game, you got to score every possession.
Mm-hmm.
Every possession you have to score, man. And I don't think we have the staff to do that, man. I think the type of football that they're trying to play is not going to work in the SEC.
Yeah.
Especially after Jaden Daniels leaves and you don't have the athleticism at quarterback anymore. Because he bails us out a lot of the times. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time.
Right.
You know, so man, it just seemed like our defense just it goes back to what you said. It goes back to recruiting, what you said about recruiting, man. That talent is not there on defense.
And another
It's
thing
just
too, man, I want to say about recruiting, man. I think with this whole transfer portal, man, I think it just going, they just jumping in there, just trying to go in there and get players, based off their name and their ranking and stuff like that. What happened to recruiting your state? I think
right.
per capita, I think Louisiana has the best athletes in America.
Oh,
I,
no doubt
I
about it.
truly like.
And
I
I
would
don't care
argue
what
with
the stats
anybody.
say. I would co-sign that. Yes.
Yeah, I would argue with anybody about that. When it comes to high school athletes, I think LSU should be locking up everybody. That's what Orgeron was doing, man. That's the thing, man. See, people want them. Nobody really gonna say that. That's what Orgeron was doing, man. Orgeron had Louisiana on lock.
He had it on lock. And he had that charisma. He had the personality.
Yeah,
He had the personality for Louisiana. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
He had
man.
that personality, and that's the thing about it. Hey man, let me bring my boy in, man. Welcome to the show, Kendall. What's been up, my brother?
Still,
I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm blessed, man. It's been a while, brother.
Yeah, man. I told Coach Maryland the other day. I said, man, I gotta jump on, bro.
Hey man, most definitely, man. Welcome to North of the Lake, my brother. Hey,
Yeah, man.
man,
Appreciate
first
it.
of all, man, how your family been doing, man?
Oh man, everybody good, bro. Everybody
Everybody
good.
good?
I'm usually down there on the weekends from time to time, working with pops a little bit. But
I got you.
everybody good, man. I'm trying to adjust my camera a little bit, but everybody good, bro.
Oh, you good, man. Like I said, it ain't gotta be perfect. Like I said, man, I go live every Sunday, man. And like I said, it's
Yeah,
an honor to have you on, man. Look, did
yeah.
you get a chance to see them LSU Tigers, bro? We need
Man,
your
I
take on
watched.
that,
I
man.
watched, man. I actually I listened to the first half. I took my girls to the movies, but I watched the second half, man, and it's whew, bro, offensively, and I hear you talk about them all the time. Offensively, bro, we don't look bad on the offensive side of the ball at all. But defensively, man. And I
Man,
know Coach Maryland talked about it the first show, was talking about that transfer portal. Bro, I know for sure we can get some better defensive backs over there than what we picked up this offseason, man.
we
It's
have
crazy.
to.
It's crazy.
Like I said, like we got that reputation of being DBU, man. And when
Yeah,
I seen the last couple weeks, bro, man,
yeah.
I hate calling these dudes out, but man, Denver Harris, number 10 for LSU, is playing some of the worst football I've ever seen from a DB.
He
Like
is.
it's like
Yeah,
it's been bad. Like and it's to the point to where like if you're in good position, like and the receiver so having to make a play on you, then so be it. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It
yeah,
just looks
yeah,
bad when he, it had like a crucial, I think it was like third and maybe 12 or something like
yeah,
that, where
yeah,
he
yeah.
had the tackle. If he
Right,
just wraps the man up,
right,
get him on the ground, I think we have another chance to kind of put the game away. But
right,
he
right.
misses that tackle. The receiver gets like 20 yards, first down. It's like, man, like
Yeah,
we're not
yeah.
used to seeing that at LSU.
No,
We used
no,
to seeing the
no.
Patrick Petersons,
Yeah,
the
man.
Tre'Davious Whites, the Morris Claibornes, the Tyron Matthews. They were sure tacklers, and when the game was on the line, they made the play.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And
yeah, yeah,
last night, bro, it's like our safety was on his back all night long. It's like they was
yeah.
run. I mean, like they was constantly getting to the second level on like all they runs. Like I
Right.
was telling Coach Maryland, they had this one play in shotgun where they were just tossing the ball to the running back. Every time they did that, they got 10 yards.
Yeah,
Defensive
yeah.
end crashing down like he ain't never played DN before.
Right,
And I'm
right,
like, man, he did it so much. It just obvious. Like I'm just I'm a little above average football fan. I can break down film and everything, but
right,
just to me, it just looks bad, man.
right, right.
It don't take a genius to see this type of stuff. It's like, man,
No,
like
no. And that's things that you work in practice every day. With Coach Maryland on the line, he knows we tackle the wheel at least twice a week, which is something new that they're starting to do instead of tackling body. When we played, it was tackling bodies pretty much, but now everything is kind of shorts, shoulder pads, helmet. and we're tackling the wheel now. So which it's kind of hard to simulate tackling a body, but at least it's some kind of tackling that you're getting in. Now,
Right.
yeah, open field tackling is a little more difficult to kind of work because I try to work that with my guys, which is kind of hard to simulate. But if you're getting some type of tackling in, we look, you play youth football, you
Right.
know how to tackle now. Come on, man. We learned that
Exactly.
at a young age, right? So, me looking from the outside in, and I guess from coaching the position, trust me, it's not hard to do, bro. It's not like you out there. And don't get me wrong, like these 5-star athletes, these athletes that shift in space. But I didn't see nothing Ole Miss was doing special. I mean, you got to make open field tackle. That's what they. You're on scholarship to go make open field tackle now. Come on, that ain't
You
hard to
don't,
do.
man, and it was just like it's like consistently, like the first man never made the tackle. Seemed like the whole
Right,
night. The
right,
first
right,
man did not get him. Like I said,
right.
and I could be exaggerating a little bit, but it felt like we missed like 50 tackles last night.
No, man,
It
no,
truly
no,
did. It's like the
no. I
first
mean,
guy never got him down, and like I said, our DBs are not willing tacklers right now. Like I said, we playing 7 to 10 yards off the receiver. I have never seen that at LSU,
yeah, because I
and
mean
I
they're
was
scared, they're nervous about obviously somebody taking the top off. Which I mean, we teach that on a high school level too. It's depending on what coverage you're in. If we playing three, we playing four. Um, Obviously you don't want a ball thrown over your head, right?
right.
So we may play, which, and I cover three alignment. We may play 5 to 6. If it's a weaker corner that we think can get beat, we'll play back him up to 7.
That makes
And we
sense.
just and we're just like, hey man, keep everything in front of you. But when we say keep everything in front of you, if a guy catches a hitch, a curl, a slant, you got to be able to come down and make a tackle
You
now.
gotta come down and make
You
the
know,
tackle at that point. You
so
have to make, and that's been a big problem. It's like that first guy, like I said, man, God bless Denver Harris, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get on here and bash this man because I
no,
think he got the talent, but man, I've seen him even in that Grambling game, like it just looked like I've seen him get called for pass interference and a receiver still scores. It's like, if I'm gonna get a PI, I'm gonna make you ain't catching this ball. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like what Marshawn Lattimore did against Mike Evans today.
Today,
Just
yeah,
like, he got beat. I think Mike Evans did have a little offensive pass, if you ask me, because I think he did a little bit too much of a push.
he did.
And instead of Marshawn Lattimore letting this man just walk in the end zone, he grabbed his foot. Hey, you ain't going nowhere.
Right, right,
At least do that, man. But it's
right.
been multiple times where it just don't look good. I don't know if
No.
we have a DB that can stop anybody's first, not even second receiver. I think if Colorado come down here to Baton Rouge right now, we in trouble. I'm just being as
Like,
far as scoring goes, I think
the
they can
speed,
score with us.
and it's crazy too because the speed of the offense kind of dictate what you're gonna do on defense. But the speed of the offense from Colorado definitely will kill you. And that's the
It'll be a
thing, man.
problem for our DBs because
The
they
Ole
got
Miss running so fast too, where it's kind of like you can't get lined up fast enough, and that's not an excuse. You still got to have guys out there on that level that can go,
most
And
definitely,
like you
man.
said earlier, man, we so spoiled down here to missing out. Like you said, we had Pat, we had even Tre'Davious White. Tre'Davious White was good. He was a good corner.
Oh man, that's one of
You
my
know,
favorites.
yeah,
I,
man.
s-
And
I
then
say I say he's one of the top actual cover corners I think
yeah,
LSU ever had.
yeah,
Just man to man, just take a man, to take a man away. I think he's showing that right now in the NFL, and that's what we
right,
used to.
right, right.
And seeing what we've been used to, man. Like I said, we all grew up just being LSU fans, watching LSU football. We can go all the way back with it. And I don't think I've ever seen a defense not as motivated. Like, we usually have that chip on our shoulder, that fire, just that Louisiana swag that, man, you're not about to come in here and just mess over us.
Right,
That's just pretty much how we operate. You're not about to embarrass us. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And I don't see that from these guys. Maybe because it's a lot of transfers on defense and everything, but I don't see that same swag. Like, you're not about to come in Death Valley. You're not about to just mess over us at LSU. And it just every week we got examples of that. Like I
Yeah,
said, in that Grambling game, man, no lie. That first quarter, that first half, I thought Grambling was going to actually compete with us. Like
right.
that's what it looked like early on. Like Grambling came out there, their quarterback was nice. They had a couple of skill guys that can play. And I thought Grambling was going to give us a run for our money. I said, oh, man,
Right. Yeah.
And
I mean, you look at it though. I think me and Maryland talk about it all the time. Honestly, bro, when you go skill guy for skill guy, you can bring us. Say, obviously, we're not playing 7-on-7. Obviously, we know that. But you can bring a Grambling or a Southern in with the right guy calling plays, and they
Oh
can
yeah.
compete against each other. Where
Oh
you
yeah.
lose games like that is up front, obviously,
Yep.
because you don't have guys, the bodies that LSU would have. But you got some guys that can compete because, I mean, just like LSU's getting some transfers, Grambling's getting some guys in, Southern's getting some guys in. But like you say, man, me and Maryland talked about it too. They missed out on so many. And we got a guy that's on our staff actually that coached at LSU, about 2 years ago? I think he was under Orgeron. And he was a grad assistant, student assistant, I'm sorry. And he talked about it. He was like, LSU they miss out on a lot of 5-star high school guys. So they try to hit the transfer portal, but when they hit the transfer portal, they're hitting it late. So all you got is Southeastern guys, Nickel State guys. Look, nothing against guys like
Nothing
that.
against them.
That's a different level.
Hey, look, man, you got to call the ace a spade
Yeah,
at the end of the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen.
That's a different level when you're
That's
talking
a
about,
different level.
okay, I'm playing Southland Conference ball 1 year. Like, what's the dude? Chestnut, I think his last name was.
Deuce Chestnut. We got okay. So the transfers we got in the DB room, I know for sure. We got Deuce Chestnut out of Syracuse. We have what's his name out of Southeastern. I can't think of his name right now.
What was his name out of Southeastern? That's not the
Zaire
Alabama.
Alexander.
Alexander. Yeah.
Alexander. You're
He
right.
actually, I was impressed by his highlight. I think he has the potential, but
Yeah.
it's just a different speed at this
That's a
level. I
different
think.
speed.
I think I don't think he's used to that because in some of the big moments I've seen him kind of, he hasn't just gave up anything just major, but he like I say he's playing very far off. So they allowing 5-6 yard catches like it's like, and then the next thing you know it's 2nd and 5. So now they got a short down in distance, and that's how the offense is. They've been just taking a little short game, really, and then they'll find that matchup against Denver Harris and take a deep shot or something like that. And it's just been pretty much just pitch and catch all season, man.
And Denver Harris is supposed to be a pretty good, and obviously he's young, but they're saying he's supposed to be a pretty good corner, pretty good defensive back. So, I mean, like you say, only time will tell. And like right now, they're just shuffling guys in, just trying to throw bodies out there to figure out who's going to be that, that perfect match. But man, that's tough, bro.
It's tough, and Denver Harris was actually the second graded cornerback out of his class, right behind on Travis Hunter.
Right.
He was the second graded corner out of that class, and he was at A&M and he transferred over to LSU, and they're just waiting on it to click, man. I'm not sure. It's making me starting to think about just who like what is our DB coach? What are they being taught in practice at this point? Because like I said, the DBs don't look as nearly as physical as they were. And I watched Florida. Corey Raymond went down to Florida after Orgeron left. Yeah. And I watched the way Florida DBs was playing. And they may not have the talent that LSU has had at DB, but you can definitely see that he's influencing those DBs. Yeah. I seen him about playing bump and run maybe 3 yards off at the max. I seen a lot of that what LSU used to with what we used to have, being able to play man coverage. And I'm starting to think is like, what are they being like? I don't know if these coaches is being able to communicate with these players. And that was one of my fears when Brian Kelly came to LSU, man. Like, y'all know how Louisiana guys, y'all coaches these Louisiana guys. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We need that fiery person. We need that person to get us going. That's just the type of people we is. I'm not sure how well his staff is being able to translate that to the players and be able to relate to the players to get everything out of the players. Because I just don't see that fire. I don't see that chip on our shoulder no more. It's like Brian Kelly is like a politician more than a coach. He's gonna say all the right things. He's gonna do all the right things, but at the same time, man, we need that guy. You know what I'm saying? We need that guy down here. Like I said, Air Orgeron. Did we move on too quick from Air Orgeron? I think we might have. Coach Madden made a good point.
I could agree with that. Because, like you say, the guy. I mean, Orgeron had just come off a 2019 championship, undefeated season, one of the best teams in college football history.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, you say, hey, okay, we got to move on.
We got to move on. Not to be fair to LSU. Ed did have a lot of stuff going on, man.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to be fair. Yeah. To be fair, but
I think when you hear all that stuff, though, man, my wife works at LSU. So all that stuff that people probably hearing, probably 95% of not even true.
That's true.
You know, I think it got to the point where I think Orgeron did he get a little cocky after he won? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. But he
You
had
know,
every reason to too, though. You had the
yeah.
greatest team of all time, man. I
At
mean,
the end
like
of the
that.
day, I think, but when you're a head coach at a higher pedestal like that, you got to carry yourself in a certain way.
Oh,
You know, I think that's my thing with Orgeron, but I just wish they really would have kept him though, man. I think LSU football would be totally different right now. But
no,
like I said, it was crucial when Joe Brady left. I don't know who he would have found to replace Joe Brady. That's would have been $1 million question.
And
that would have been.
I think Joe would have been a hell of a OC at LSU. And to let him like run it fully, I say,
Yeah,
not under somebody else. Hey, this your offense. You do what you want to do. And I think that was the issue with Les Miles. He brought in some decent OCs. He just always had his hands on the offense instead
Yep.
of just moving out the way and said, "Hey, man, this your offense. You do you." And that's it. He was an offensive guy, so he always wanted to put his hands on things. And I'm like, you just run the show. Let them guys do it. And Orgeron, that was one good thing about Orgeron. He did get out the way. He got out
Yes.
the way and he let these guys coach. He was just that fiery head coach, like you said earlier. You need that in Louisiana. You need a guy. He was bringing in top recruits because he's a hell of a recruiter.
Yes.
But you got to, I don't know, man. You just, and then the guys that Brian Kelly's brought in, good football coaches. Don't get me wrong. Like you can go sit down and talk with him. We went to a couple of clinics and listen to him speak. He has some guys that knows the X's and O's, but like you said earlier, can they translate that over to these type of players that you're getting over here? I don't know if they can.
Most definitely, because like man, I've had the privilege of being in the Midwest, and I've been driving trucks for over 7 years. It's a difference. I'm letting you know now.
Right,
Between the people here and there is it's a major difference. We have that. Like I said, I'm used to seeing that edge with LSU players. It's like we just like do you remember when Tyrann Matthew was playing how it felt? It just felt like nobody could mess with them dudes. You know what I'm saying? And they carried their stuff like that. I don't see that same confidence no more. And like I said, he's not getting the talent. I don't believe Brian Kelly has done a good enough job of getting the talent to LSU. Because look, man, let's be honest, he's an older white man. He's kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? He say corny things. He made jokes that nobody laugh at. He that type of guy, man. Love it, love him or hate him. That's just what it is. I mean, I'm calling it what it is. And how is that going to relate to a 16-year-old Louisiana kid that likes to jig in Baton Rouge? You know what I'm saying? Like how is that going to relate to this kid? In Baton Rouge, can he keep that guy in Baton Rouge? But Orgeron had a personal relationship with these guys. Like I've had the privilege of talking to some of our athletes that we trained that was at LSU, a very reliable source at LSU, who kind of told me how things went with Orgeron. He said they love Orgeron, but his own words, that 2009, I'm not gonna say his name, but he said it was Joe Burrow 100%. He said Joe Burrow got them up at 5 o'clock in the morning and held his own practice. And Joe Burrow was that much in control of that team, but which you can give Orgeron the credit for, he got the talent there. He got Joe Burrow to transfer from Ohio State to LSU because he represented Louisiana. Every time Orgeron came out that tunnel, he said, "We doing this for the state of Louisiana."
That's
man.
Right.
That made me want to just be behind, like, man, all right, you know what I'm saying? You just felt that energy with Orgeron. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Brian Kelly can reproduce that. And this is where we at right now. I told my barber this. I hope he watching right now. I said, look, because he think I'm just spoiled, and I'm just spoiled. I'm a spoiled LSU fan. I said, man, look, bro. I said, if LSU went after they fire Orgeron, I said, if they don't get this coaching job right, we're gonna lose the program, man. We're going to lose the program because it was already kind of taking a slide. You know what I'm saying? And I said, if we don't get the right guy, we're going to lose the program. We're going to go through what Florida State went through for them 10 years, where they was down for a while and they had to find themselves again. If we not careful, if we hold on to Brian Kelly too long, that's where we're going to go. We're going to go into that slide because you already see the talent slide. The only thing we got right now is offense. Defense, anybody can score on us on defense. Anybody with a talented receiver can score on us on offense. It's just what it is. And the quarterback can halfway throw the ball. That's all you need to beat this LSU defense. You got missing assignments. It's just I can go on all day long. All day long I can go on. And I got a question for y'all, man. I'm gonna lead right into this question, man. Is LSU still DBU?
Not right now.
No, man.
They,
I gotta agree with you on that one. I don't think so because, like you say, you're missing on too many guys. I mean, you got to keep some of these. You got some DBs in Louisiana that you got to keep in state when you're recruiting, and you got to put the right guy. And look, don't get me wrong, they got some recruit. They got some great recruiters, but you got to find a way to keep some of these DBs in state because you look at half of the guys that's been leaving over the last 5 or 6 years that haven't been, coming to LSU or staying in state. You've been missing on some big time guys.
Yes,
You know, so if you can
big
keep,
time guy.
if you can at least keep 3 or 4 of them in state every year, you can probably get that title back. But right now, no, I don't think
It's
so.
it's gonna take a lot of recruiting, man, to get us out this hole. And I
Yeah,
don't think recruiting alone can do it. Like I said, that transfer portal is gonna be critical for Brian Kelly. It's gonna be critical, man. Like I said, I know we can find some DBs, and but what really hurt us was or like I said, when Orgeron left, Eli Ricks left, the guy
yeah,
that picked off Jaden Daniels, what is his name? Picked off in Arkansas right now. He picked off Jaden Daniels in the Arkansas game. I
oh,
can't think of his name right now.
Oh, McLaughlin,
Yeah,
yeah,
him.
something like
yeah.
that.
I thought he was a pretty good cornerback. And once he left, I'm like, okay, we could be in trouble, man. I remember him transferring to Arkansas. I'm like, we could definitely be in trouble because I thought he was one of the rising stars of that LSU DB room. And so him and Eli Ricks had transferred. I knew he was in trouble. And even last year, our DB play wasn't that great, to be honest with you.
Right.
We just kind of got by. We had moments, we had a good enough team at times to where we kind of got by. But man, like I said, when you start naming the names of Patrick Peterson, uh T. White, we can go Morris Claiborne, Tyron Matthew. When you start naming guys like that, I don't see anybody. I don't see a first rounder on this whole defense,
Yeah.
and that's rare. That's rare. Usually we have one somewhere, either on the D line, either definitely at DB, and most of the time we have a great linebacker. And I
Right.
don't see outside of Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins may be the only first round pick, legitimate first round pick on this defense, but even he is struggling this year.
Right.
You
I
know,
think if Mason Smith stays healthy and stays out of trouble or whatever, I think he could possibly be at least a well, it's not day one anymore, but I say at least a day one, day two draft pick, at least I say top 3 rounds at least. But like you said, I agree. The only top guy on that defense is Harold Perkins, man.
but
I mean,
even
I think,
Mason Smith, like he hasn't shown up this year. Like he
yeah,
hasn't proven himself to really be that guy, man. Like I said, and
and
I
he's,
want him to be that guy.
yeah,
He showed flashes last season before he got hurt in his freshman season. But this year, man, I've been watching him. It's like he's not conditioned. I
yeah,
think it's I
yeah,
think it's the conditioning with him because you could tell he'll give you a flash every once in a while, but then he just be standing up and letting them block him, man. Like last night, they did whatever they wanted. They ran up the middle, they ran to the outside, they threw it on us. They pretty much did anything that they wanted to do.
yeah.
Anything that they wanted to do, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's gonna take a lot of recruiting and a lot of transfer portal, man, because
But what was
it's go ahead.
what was the guy? What was the DB that played across from Stingler on that 2019 team from Rummel? I can't even
Um
remember his last name. I think he might be
Christian,
playing for the
Christian
Titans.
Fulton. Christian Fulton.
Fulton. I think
Yeah,
that might have. I think that might have been the last great year of defensive back play that
oh, most
LSU
definitely.
had,
Most
and so
definitely.
that's what the last 2 3 years maybe
Mm-hmm.
that it's kind of fell off because I think after that, and then like you said, once Orgeron was kind of like, okay, we got to get him out the door. Like you said, a lot of those guys started sliding out the door with him because I mean, the reason why most of those guys were there because of Orgeron. He
That's
brought
right.
them in, and they stayed there because of him. Even in those bad years, they still stayed there because of him. But like you say, when he pulled up, I mean, when they let him go, I say, that hurts. But I mean, to back to you to what you were saying, I don't think we're holding that title no more. I don't even know who holds that title no more, but we definitely don't have it.
If I had to give it to somebody, I'd probably give it to Ohio State
Yeah, they always
because
ran a tight race with
because
us.
I always feel like they was like number two,
Right.
because they definitely, with Denzel Ward, they don't produce a lot of DBs and they got a lot of DBs right now. If I had to give it to somebody, it'd probably be Ohio State. I don't think nobody has took the crown from us though, because I
No.
think because we definitely gotta now. If this continues a couple more seasons, then I will say for sure we are no longer DBU. But to this season, we are not DBU this season. I can't give us that crown, man, because like I said, we have not been consistent at DB, like you said, probably since the Christian Fulton and Darius Stingler year. That was the last time that we had consistent DB play, first rounders that that we knew was that you weren't just gonna throw the ball on LSU like that,
Right.
and now it just looks too easy, man. Like I've seen plays, like I've watched the film a couple times. I've seen plays where we let a guy get inside of us. That's the number one no at playing cornerback. You don't let a receiver get inside you. I've
Right.
seen the guy let a receiver get inside him. The receiver got inside him, broke the tackle, and he just kind of jogged like after him. Like he didn't like get up and try to actually go pursue the man. I just seen a lot of like unmotivated people, man. And like I said, I think that goes back to it has to go back to how they're being coached at practice. It
Right.
has to. Like I
Right.
said, we need. I just don't think Brian Keller's the answer, man. I don't think he's the answer for what we need. Like I said, I've been telling Coach Maryland the last couple of weeks, you're not gonna win in the SEC recruiting tight ends, man. I'm sorry. You can hang your hat on having how many tight ends drafted you wanted to. Where did that get you at Notre Dame?
Right.
Let me ask you that.
Nothing.
Where did that and Notre Dame actually looks better now that he's left. Like Notre
Yeah.
Dame went tooth and nail with Ohio State the last week. Like
Right.
they probably got one of the better quarterbacks in the country as well.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
I
And
agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, I think it's all about. Don't get me wrong, Brian Kelly's he's not a bad football coach. He knows. I think he's a. How can I say this? He's a good front office type of guy. Like if
exactly,
he was on the NFL level, I'll put it even like this: if he was the athletic director at LSU, he would probably be the perfect guy for that spot because
exactly.
he knows the ins and outs of that type of stuff. And he's a hell of a football coach. Don't get me wrong, but like you said, you need a guy. You need a guy that knows this area, and I think that's why he brought in so many Louisiana guys to kind of help him recruit this area. But they're missing right now, man. They're missing on the recruits, man, in this area. Like honestly, bro, I've been at U High with the last 5 years, and we've had a couple of dudes that probably could have played some ball at LSU in the secondary, and they just you never saw them around practice, man. Like, and we right on campus. Ask
That's
Maryland, he
crazy.
knows. Like, we're on campus.
That's
They can go,
crazy.
they can walk over there if they wanted to.
Yep.
But they missed on a few guys. We got a guy at Auburn right now that's playing corner. We got a guy at A&M that's playing safety. So that's two dudes that's playing in the SEC that you could have, possibly built the secondary around and said, okay, now these guys are a little older, and this will be one of the guys' third year and the other guy's second year. So now you're looking at guys that's older in your system, perfect fit. But like you say, it's about keeping them in state, man. Got to keep them in state.
It's definitely about keeping them in state, and that's just the. I'm not sure how well he Brian Kelly and his staff can identify talent because like you said, it was like I always bring up Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry, Justin Jefferson with the Vikings, man. He was a 2-star recruit,
Yeah,
and it took somebody to see the potential in his talent to offer him as a 2-star recruit at LSU, right? Like it took somebody to say, okay, that dude that can ball, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude that can ball, and it took for somebody to see that talent. I don't know if we have that right now.
Right.
I don't know if we are evaluating talent the way that we should. Because like I said, we letting guys like I keep forgetting the dude name at Florida State that balled on us, the receiver out of Opelousas,
Keon Coleman.
Keon
Keon
Cole.
Cole. I mean, that was just a slap in the face right there. That game right there against Florida State. We got a Louisiana guy just balling on us right now. There's no reason for that.
Right.
There's
That's
no
one
reason
that
for
you.
that.
That's one that you. That's a transfer portal guy. That's one that you. Come on, man. How we miss on that?
How do
Like
we
that's
miss on that?
me personally. I think if you hit the transfer portal and you're trying to find guys, if it's me looking at it and I don't know much about it, like some guys that's coached on the college level, but like if I know a previous staff missed on a guy, or even if I missed on a guy, this is a second chance at getting the guy. I'm going to
Exactly.
throw all my eggs in the basket. Like, let me pull some of these Louisiana dudes back in state that I know can play in this system, that know this system, or just knows Louisiana football, period. Because it's different. You played high school ball on this level, so in this state, I say, it's different.
Yeah.
And you got This football is different than up north, and I
Oh
think that's
man,
the problem
it's
that Brian Kelly's running into. Like, yes, Notre Dame is a storied program. They played some good football under him, but they didn't win the big game under him.
they
You know,
didn't.
I
And
mean,
it seemed like once he got on that bit on that big stage, it just showed how, and like I always go back to that game against Alabama. I think it was 2013, maybe, or something. No, that was actually what was that? Can't remember. I think it was 2010 when Alabama met Notre Dame in the championship game, and you could just see that they didn't have the athletes on the field. Like you knew it. Like it's like, okay, they got the D line, they got the O line, they got some tight ends, but they don't have any speed to compete with Alabama.
no way.
And that's what LSU was starting to look like. And
Right.
then it just and we not recruiting speed the way we used to recruit speed. You can see it on defense, man. Like people are getting the edge on our defense. I remember we played Lamar Jackson in that bowl game, and this when Jamal Adams had a game of his life, bro. You can see that something was different about the defense that Lamar Jackson had been playing and the LSU defense.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he
the
was trying to
speed,
get to the outside, it was nothing there. He
the
looked. We,
speed,
we
man.
made we made him and Johnny Manziel look average that year.
Right,
We made both of them look average, like
right.
average quarterbacks. That's the type of LSU defense that we used to.
Yeah,
We used to having Jamal Adams at safety. We
yeah.
used to having Tre'Davious White at corner. Eric Reed at safety. We used to all these guys, man, and I just don't see that guy. I don't see that guy. I don't see that alpha male in the defense at all that just stands up and say we ain't about to let this happen. I don't see
Right,
that guy this year. It's like everybody had a moment. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, okay, I thought you was the guy, well, maybe you're not the guy. And like I said, I think one of the most disappointing things of this year has been the D line, man. I think that's one of the most disappointing things on the team right now is the D line. Because I said we got two All Americans at D tackle. I feel like we should be getting a little better pass rush than we've been getting to at least help those DBs out. But
I
at
agree.
the end of the day, you got to be able to challenge these SEC receivers, and it's only getting worse as we go along in the schedule. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination, man. It's
No,
not over with these DBs. I don't see us stopping anybody. We're gonna have to outscore everybody, man.
right, right, right. I
We
agree.
got to outscore everybody, man. I'm gonna
I
go to the
agree.
next question, man. Coach Madden was talking about this earlier, man. I think the defense is failing Jaden Daniels, man.
I
I
agree.
believe Jaden Daniels is a Heisman candidate right now. But with those two losses right now, with those two losses on our resume right now, I'm not sure if he can get it. I mean, we
Right.
would have to finish strong and win out. But man, do y'all believe that Jaden Daniels is a Heisman candidate?
Almost definitely. If you look number, okay, if I'll just go strictly numbers, and no, I'm not gonna say he's putting up numbers that's just wowing you like a Shador or even Bo Nix putting up some nice numbers too, and Caleb Williams. But man, his numbers they're not bad though, man. And
They're
I
not
agree
bad.
with you. Voters are gonna look at okay records and that type of thing. But if you throw that out the window, man, I think he's putting up numbers. I don't think he's putting up numbers to win it, but I think he's putting up numbers to at least be mentioned in that same sentence with those guys like he was when the season started. Uh, man, it's hard because it's crazy that you say that because you're thinking like, man, you don't want voters to look at the record, but
Right.
that's going to come into play.
That's gonna come into play.
And your defense is failing them, man. So I agree with you on that. I really agree with you on that.
They definitely are failing them, man. Oh,
Right.
because like I said, even I think Lamar Jackson might have lost 3 games the year he won Heisman, but his numbers were so over the top to where you couldn't deny him. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It just he was putting up video game type of numbers where Lamar Jackson couldn't deny him. They couldn't deny him that Heisman, but I think Jaden is doing the same. What's your take on it, Coach Brown?
Yeah, I think he's a legit Heisman candidate now, man. Like I said, I think LSU now they opening up the offense. They letting them throw the ball around, man. So I think the only thing that's gonna hold it back is that defense. He could go out there, he could have like from here on out, he could have 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 80 yards rushing, 1 or 2 rushing. But man, I don't think if your defense not back you up, man, you you know you ain't really get a fair shot at it. So I think he's a Heisman candidate, man. I truly believe that. I think like the main thing, like I always say, Brady just got to stay healthy.
Got to stay
I
healthy.
know he takes some licks, man, but he
Oh
better
man, he
start
took a
sliding.
shot.
Yeah, I
He took a
know.
shot, man.
Fumbled it too, so he got to start sliding too, man.
He got to start sliding. But I think what he feel right now, I think he feel like the weight of the world is on his shoulders because if he don't go out there and produce, we not in any of these games, man.
Right, right. Gianna.
Yeah, my
What's
bad,
going
man. I'm
on?
done. Uh, but I agree with you, man. I think he has some weapons. Jaden Daniels definitely has some weapons on the outside. And like you said, you can see the offense gelling, man. You actually can. He has a great offensive line as well. You can see the offense gelling together and playing some good football. But like you said, back to your original statement, that defense is just man, it's just
Man, it's
bad,
bad,
bro.
man. It's
It's
bad.
bad.
I mean, it just like it's like fundamental things that we messing up on. Like I said, the end crashed down all night long. I'm just like, man, like, and they kept running the same play. At some point, you gotta be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna let them do that again. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? I mean, it was a simple, just we in shotgun, we just boom, toss the ball to the running back. You know, I see a lot of teams do that now, and we had no answer for it. I mean, it was getting like 10 yards a pop, and it just
right,
got to the point we didn't adjust to it probably to the fourth quarter is when we started till we actually started adjusting to that play, man. It was like they had that play all night. They had any little short hitch route all night long. It's like every ball that the quarterback threw, and it was at least for first down yardage the whole night. And
right,
we got them into third and long probably 10 times that night, and they probably got 9 of them. Like
right.
they converted third and long like consistently. Like the defense just could not get off the field, man. And like I said, and like
Right.
even in crunch time, this is my criticism of the offense of LSU. It's like when we need those 5 yards, when we need that play, it's like our OC has no answer for it. It's like he has nothing designed to where, okay, we need these 5 yards. The game is on the line. It's just something very vanilla that we are called that is pretty much predictable. I think like at the end of that game, we tried like a quarterback draw with Jaden Daniels or something like that. And they, you
Yeah,
know, it said they just what it was so predictable to the point of, okay, we knew this was coming. It was kind of the same thing against Florida State. It's like when we need that one play to where we need to get the ball in the end zone. You know, like I even like to play it to Mason Taylor that won the Alabama game last year. I don't see that played nearly enough. I mean, it's
yeah,
always there on the short yardage situation. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
Yeah, but a play
And
like that, that's like a gadget play. You save stuff like that though. But I
yeah,
get what you mean though, but I don't know, man. It's just this year is different for LSU for some
it's
reason.
different
It's like, man, I'm 35, man. I thought I'd never see a LSU team play like this, man. Defensively, honestly.
defensively
yeah. That's
because it
scary
was
when you
always
gotta
offense
put
for
up.
years, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's scary when you gotta put up 40 and 50 points to beat a bet. And I don't even. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't like you had to put up 40 against a good old Miss T. To me, they didn't. They didn't. I mean, I didn't see anything special about the Ole Miss football team that they played that they lost to last night. I mean, I thought
Nah,
that
I
was a
didn't
team
either.
that you should have been able to easily go out there and put up 35 maybe and win that football game.
And win the
But
game.
I mean, but
but
like you say,
Kiffin, that dude,
you gotta stop somebody.
Yeah,
Lane
yeah,
Kiffin,
Kiffin,
that dude.
He
he
is
really
good.
is,
He's
man.
good. He's good.
Now, if you took Kiffin off their team, I think it'd been a blowout.
Oh, it'd been a
Yeah, oh yeah,
blowout.
most definitely. Most
And that
definitely.
makes me think,
He
man.
gobbled some stuff.
That makes me think that, do we got the right dude, man? Like, if we had some of that play calling last night, I think it may be a whole different situation. Like you say whatever you want to say about Lane Kiffin, like you said, he had tempo. It- it's like he was calling the game like we're gonna come in here and we're gonna give it all we got. We're gonna give LSU our best shot. And he was aggressive. He went for it on fourth down, maybe like 3 or 4 times. Like when you see a team do that early, you should know what type of game this is about to be.
Right.
Like they about to fight you all the way to the end, man. They're gonna fight you to the end. If you see them going for fourth down early on in that game, and that's what they did. They went they came in this game like they did not fear LSU. That's how
Right.
they came in there. They came into like we not scared of y'all. We about to give y'all everything we got, and they worked out for them. It's like for the third time this season, I think Brian Kelly got out coached. That's not a good sign when you paying a guy $100 million, man. And I think I seen it was even more than that. I seen the contract earlier. Like if you paying a guy that man to be the guy, I just don't see how that can be justified. I mean, Florida State game, you lost to Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell is a up and coming coach, but Brian Kelly is one of the most winning coaches, active coaches in college football right now. There's no way you should be getting out coached by Mike Norvell. I mean, Lane Kiffin is that dude, you know what I'm saying? But still, you got experience on Lane Kiffin. You you should be you should look a lot better against an Ole Miss team, man. We look
Right.
unprepared. Like I said, anytime you have procedure calls and too many men on the field, that's just about how you prepare. You know,
Right.
it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look like from the top down, from recruiting to play calling to discipline to just all around togetherness. I think LSU just ain't got that right now, man. I
Right.
just don't see it. I don't see it on in any aspect. Look at for instance, look at the special teams. We have a guy that just back there to catch the ball. That's what LSU has. That's what the return game has become. We have a
Crazy.
guy just to go back there to fair catch the ball. That's
That's
all we
crazy.
got now, you know. And we usually have that Odell Beckham that's going to take it to the house, the Trendon Holiday, or the Patrick Peterson, the Tyrann Matthew. We always had somebody a return guy. Like I can't remember too many years where we didn't take a kick to the house by whoever was wearing number 7. It didn't even matter. Whoever wore number 7 usually take the kicks to the house. You know what I'm saying? And now we have a guy back there, man, that just fair catches the ball. I don't know if y'all pay much attention to it, but I
Yeah.
think he made a ran only one time this year. Like
Mhm.
actually, like I mean, I seen him have like 10 yards of cushion. He'll still fair catch the ball. And
Yeah.
it's just like, man, like what have we become? I see teams I see a Tulane that has a guy that can return a kick. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
Right.
how is LSU being LSU not have a guy to return a kick, man? Like, come on, man. Like that's crazy to me, man. That's crazy to me how we looked on special teams the last couple of years.
I agree.
It's just crazy to me that we have a coach in Brian Kelly, man, that that's allowing all this to go on under his watch, man. This is my last and final question. I'm not gonna be here too long tonight, but is Brian Kelly on the hot seat? I mean, like at this point, we are 3-2 starting the season. Week 1, we get embarrassed by Florida State. Grambling gave us a good fight through the first 2 quarters. Okay. We go into Mississippi State, we handle business. Mississippi State, like they're gonna beat nobody this year, just based off what I've seen. And then, like I said, we go into this game. We have a lot of confidence. Actually, I skip Arkansas. Arkansas gave us everything that we can handle. Okay. Arkansas is not that good of a football team. They have a great quarterback, but through in and throughout, they don't have nearly the talent LSU has. They are not supposed to compete the way they did against LSU. I'm sorry. They lost to BYU the week before, man. Come on. You know. And then we go into this game against Ole Miss. We know Lane Kiffin is the play caller that he is. And we go in there, we give up 55 points. So I seen Coach Madden up there was like, no, give
Man,
us your reason. Give us your reason why, Coach.
they got too much money invested in them, bro. They ain't about
Yeah.
to
Oh,
pay no buyout, man. They ain't
Yeah. Yeah.
LSU. They still paying Orgeron, I think. They
we
ain't.
Right.
are.
They
Right.
not. They not about to get rid of them like that.
Right.
I know a lot of people want that to happen. That's not about to happen. No time
Right.
soon. I can promise you that.
He's a good face because I mean, I think. See, my dad used to say this all the time. I think a lot of the true LSU fans was kind of embarrassed by Orgeron because he would get up there and he couldn't speak well. So it kind of outside of Louisiana, it kind of represented the state the wrong way. But I think when you throw Brian Kelly up there in front of cameras, he speaks like you said earlier. He says the right things. He speaks well. But no, I agree with Maryland. I don't think he's on the hot seat because, man, like you said, that's a lot of money that you're talking about. I know his buyout is probably crazy,
Oh
and
man.
that's a lot of money, you know. And like you say, Orgeron is probably still on the books. Shoot, no way possible. And like you say, I mean, last year they started slow, but he was able to kind of get them going. And they finished the season on a high note. So you thinking, okay, this year's gonna be special. But like you said, after that loss to Florida State, man, and then this Ole Miss game just don't make it too much better. But I mean, I don't know, bro. I
I,
don't
I
know.
I think it's more of who you lost to and how you losing to them. That doesn't sit right with the fan base. I know what we saying on this on this live right now, but LSU fans, we getting impatient. I'm telling you, I know I'm impatient. I'm ready. I was ready to fire him right after the Florida State game. That is how I am. You know, I wear my I wear my emotions on my sleeve when it comes to football. I was ready to fire him right after the Florida State game. I would not have minded that because it just looked. I mean, we just looked like usually we show up in at bare minimum, we're gonna be the most talented team on the field. Like you could use your always expect that at LSU. Sometimes it may be the coaching, sometimes the coaches, even back to the Les Miles area. Like sometimes we just did not put the best we didn't put the players in the best position to make plays. But it was never a talent thing at LSU, right? It was always kind of well, maybe this scheme is not working. Maybe we should modernize the offense under Les Miles. Or Jerron just couldn't keep the consistency. You know what I'm saying? Once Joe Brady left, he kind of went through a lot of OCs trying to figure it out, trying to get that same spark back to the offense that Joe Brady gave it, and just what I've seen from Brian Kelly, it just doesn't look good, man. Like I said, I thought we was gonna take our running in year two. I really did. I said, well, like I said, how we ended the season, the bowl game against Purdue, it's just a letdown, man. And it's just a letdown, and a lot of emotional LSU fans like myself right now want the man gone. But the reality of the situation is that contract. Like you said, bro, like if they had to pay Orgeron 17 million, they might have to pay this dude 50. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think he commanded a lot more money than Orgeron did. And Orgeron actually has a championship.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Orgeron at least showed that he could put together a roster and a staff to win a title.
Right.
And like you said, he definitely wasn't given a fair shot to kind of redeem himself from that. Because I think if you give him another year, give him a quarterback, give him the right coordinator, because Orgeron was just the guy that he was the recruiter. He was the guy to get the talent in the building. Right. He was the type of coach that needed the right coordinator to come in and scheme it up for him.
Right.
He was not that type of guy, but Brian Kelly he's just not showing me enough, man. But I'm gonna tell you this though, Coach. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. If he lose about 3 more games, you'll be surprised. This year.
Oh,
if he lose 2-3 more games,
they gonna put some money up. That happy this
year. hey, look, you'll be surprised how far some of these people in Louisiana will go behind LSU football.
Yeah.
Now, Coach, if I had $1 billion, I might pay half of it myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I just had money to play with like that, I probably would put up half of to get them up out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. If I had that type of money, you will be surprised. You got some all people in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? You'll be surprised how much money floating around and get them up out of here. You'll be surprised. I'm telling you, mark my word. If we lose to Bama, and if we mess around and lose to one of these teams we're not supposed to lose to, if we lose to Missouri next week, oh, the writing on the wall. If we lose to Missouri, I'm telling you right now, the writing is on the wall. If we lose to any of these lower tier teams, or even if we struggle with Army, it's over with for him. I don't care what he do. If we go out there and whatever it is we play Army and Army give us any type of game, it's over with. I'm sorry, I just cannot see it because Orgeron did a whole lot less, in my opinion. Because think about it, Orgeron had the 2020 year was the COVID year. Everybody did bad that year. Everybody was trash that year pretty much. The next year, it was just rough. We lost a lot to the draft. A lot of players went on to the draft. A lot of players went on and moved on. And the next year Brian Kelly comes in, he has some type of momentum with Jaden Daniels, and we lose games we're not supposed to lose last year as well. That A&M game, no way A&M be supposed to beat us last year.
Right.
Was Tennessee more talented than us last year? No. I mean, was they a good team? Absolutely. Now, talent-wise, I don't believe so. Because if we can go beat Alabama, we should better beat Tennessee.
Right.
Yeah. And that's just in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If we could beat Bama, we should better beat Tennessee. If Brian Kelly, how much different will we be looking at Brian Kelly had he lost to Alabama last year? Think about that. How much different will we be looking at Brian Kelly if he loses that Alabama game last year? We don't go to the SEC championship game. How much different would things be looking right now? I think the writing will be on the wall already.
Mm-hmm.
That Alabama game saved his LSU career last year. And I know it was year one. I know I'm probably being a little emotional about this, but well, I truly believe that if we don't beat Bama last year, what win could you go to say, well, he won a big game?
Right.
What win will he have under his belt to where you could say that LSU, Coach Brian Kelly at LSU can win big games? Because so far, I've seen him get out coached in big games. He got out coached last year against Florida State. He got out coached this year. He got out coached by Lane Kiffin this year. And against Jimbo Fisher and A&M last year, who A&M was terrible that year, man. They won like 4 games that year.
Mm-hmm.
It just those losses are going to start to add is going to start to add up for him, man. And
Yeah, I
and
think
it,
he'll
it,
start. I think for him to save his job, he'll have a new defense coordinator next year for sure, and I
but
think that may save him.
I got to go back to what Coach Maryland said earlier. I don't think it's necessary to DC. I just think he truly don't have the talent to work with. I when I go back and look at the film, it's like, okay, what could we? Because I played DB, so I pretty much know what covers the defense in. I know by alignment. Sometimes they can hide it, but when the ball snaps, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see where everybody's at. You can pretty much know what coverage they're in. So I'm looking for things like, well, what should he run in this situation? I don't think it's a scheme thing. I think it's a talent thing. If you
I
could
can
just
agree
throw
with that.
if you could throw up a 50-50 ball and the DB gonna lose, I mean, that ain't the coach there. That you know,
Yeah,
Coach House can't go out there and cover a fade route. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
I agree.
and even like I go back to that Denver Harris play with Denver Harris, man. If he makes that play, I think I know. I'm pretty sure you know what play I'm talking about. He
Yeah.
kind of go high on the guy. He missed. The guy kind of shakes off of him,
Mm-hmm.
gets the first down. That changed the whole game for us. It
Hmm.
I just think it's a talent issue on defense because even that 2019 year where the defense struggled early on that season that Joe Burrow won the Heisman, that defense struggled early on, but you could see the talent was there. You knew that they was going to get it together. It's like, okay, you know they just need some time. Like they weren't playing horrible, but they weren't the LSU defense that you was used to. But the offense was scoring so many points, it didn't even matter anyway. I mean, Joe Burrow was the greatest quarterback we ever seen, but it didn't matter that year, but you could still see the talent. You still saw, like I said, the Darius Stingley's, the Christian Fulton. Um, you seen who do we have at safety that year? Oh, what's his name? He the Browns right now. Grant
Grant
Delpit.
Yep. Yeah.
Grant Delpit. Yeah.
You had all these guys, man, and you had the Caleb Vaughn Chase ons. You had all these guys that I mean I can go on that I think they might have had maybe like 4 or 5 first round picks off that defense that year. And they
Hmm.
didn't play great, but you saw the talent was there. And
Right.
last night, man, for the first time, like I said, I've been an LSU fan since I was 5 years old, man. I'm 30 now. I've been watching LSU football 25 years. I have never seen our defense get bullied like that. That last touchdown that Ole Miss scored, where he just shook our DB, and then the dude just pancakes him. He walked and the receiver walks into the end zone. Man, that's embarrassing, man. I was embarrassed, like for real. I'm like, man, like because I go hard behind this DBU stuff, and Louisiana, we got the best athletes in the world. I still believe that. I go hard. It's a certain pride I carry with me, and to see what happened on that play, bro. Like it just a simple just screenplay to the receiver. He shakes our guys, make them look silly, I think our safety get pancake. It was embarrassing, man.
No
It,
doubt.
it was a bad look just for the sake of recruiting. Just to say just what I just want to know what the team thinks right now. Like, I would love to have somebody on the inside. We used to have a couple of tangent guys over that I could reach out to, but man, I would just love to know what the team thinks about Brian Kelly and what they think about what's going on right now because they don't seem motivated. Brian Kelly doesn't seem like a motivator to the players because they just look lackadaisical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've never seen that from an LSU team. Usually at night we ready to play, we fired up. I didn't see nobody with that fire. Maybe outside of Harold Perkins, I didn't see anybody playing with no fire, man. It was
Right.
just kind of submissive, man. It was kind of submissive. I ain't trying to offend nobody, but that's kind of what it looked like. Like, hey, man, y'all can take whatever y'all want. We gonna give it to you. you know.
Hmm.
That's just what it was all night, man. And I didn't see any adjustments now. Like I said, if you do want to criticize Matt House, I haven't seen him make those same adjustments he made last year. It seemed like last year the defense always came out slow, but then the second half they things settled down. Now this year, man, I just that toss play was all. What do y'all? What do you call that? Shotgun toss it to. It's just a running back. It's just a halfback toss, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
That's pretty much all it is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, they got that. I'm telling you, go back and just watch the film, man. They got that play. Every time they ran that play it was 10 yards. And I'm like, man, like in 35, Savion Jones, I think he out of St. James, St. James High School. I was high on him coming out of St. James. It looked like they put too much weight on him because he was maybe about like a 225 guy. Yeah, he looked like he about 250, 260. And he's not playing with that same finesse and speed anymore. It's like I said, he was the one that was crashing down a lot. He crashed down, and once he crashed down, he could not get back. He just looked like I don't know. He looked like a heavy defensive end. I don't know. I'm not used to seeing that at LSU. I'm used to the chase songs, and the Kiki Mingos that was kind of smaller guys, but you weren't gonna get that outside on them. Like you was not gonna make it to the edge. Now, man, I don't know, bro. I don't feel hope. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like this could get any better. Like you was just like, okay, well, we got the best players, in the country. We're gonna figure it out. They're gonna scheme them up better. Bro, I don't feel any hope right now, bro. I just don't feel any hope at all. Like it's just like I don't think it can get any better. I see 2 more losses. I see Alabama beating us. I see Alabama and A&M for sure beating LSU. For sure. Everybody else, now Florida might come in and give us the game of their life. You know how they go. Like you never know what's gonna happen between LSU, Florida. We didn't play Auburn yet. I forgot about Auburn. That Auburn could beat us, bro.
Yeah,
like
they coming back. They coming to Baton Rouge, so I don't know about Auburn, but but I agree with you on that. Which one you said before that? Florida. I can kind of agree with you on the Florida game because I mean you don't know, like you said, that Florida game is always close, just like the Arkansas game is always close. So I can see Florida possibly coming in and spoiling some stuff, but I mean, by it being homecoming, that's homecoming weekend, right?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was homecoming weekend. But if it's homecoming weekend, then you got a little extra motivation to kind of win your homecoming game. But like you say, I see A&M beating them. They got to go to Tuscaloosa. I think they can keep that one close, but
they can keep it close. Because Alabama quarterbacks, man. I'm not used to seeing that from Alabama. No. I think Milroe he is gonna get better though. Like next year he gonna get better. I think they sat him way too early, but I think Milroe gonna be a lot better when people think it's just not gonna be this year. So
you got to stick with him and let him take his little bumps right now. Yeah, next year you're gonna probably have something special with him next year.
He kind of reminded me of Jaden Daniels a little bit, kind of the year Jaden Daniels had last year. It took him a little while to get started, but I seen some throws he made that I'm like, okay, he can play. Like, and then he can scramble with the best of them, man. I'm like, he can play. So, but only reason why I would give LSU the edge in the Alabama game is because of Jaden Daniels. Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm giving us any hope going forward. If we had Danny Etling this year, or somebody like that, or Brandon Harris, or one of them guys that we had. If we had one of them guys this year, I don't think we go to a bowl game. I'm just being honest with you. If we just had a stationary quarterback, somebody who really couldn't, extend the play and get first downs, I don't see us. Because like I said, a lot of LSU fans are calling for, we're calling for Garrett Nussmeier to take over as quarterback. A lot of people was calling for that to happen. And man, if we would, how can I say this? We would see how much, how can I put it in better terms? We would see how good Jaden Daniels really is if, Lord forbid, something happened and Nussmeier have to come in the game. That's when you'll see just how good of a player he is, because a lot of the things he does, a lot of those runs save us. Like that run, we got down 21-7 in that Ole Miss game. The run he made on that next drive when Ole Miss went up 21 points. I think it was like a 50-yard run. Gets us all the way down into scoring position. That changed the momentum of the game for LSU. Because if we go 3 and out on that drive and Ole Miss get the ball back, they going up 28-7. At that point, the game would have been way out of whack for us right there.
Yep.
So, man, I think he all we got, man. He's the only reason why I would bet on us the rest of the season. I think we got a Heisman candidate. Other than him, Elite Neighbors, and Brian Thomas is like this has been the only consistent thing for LSU all year.
Diggs about to get there, bro.
Diggs is yes.
I saw him run the ball last night. I said, okay, now this is LSU star running back. He need to be like that from here on out. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you. When LSU hired Brian Kelly, I was shocked. Like, I couldn't even believe it. Because my vote, if I had to pick somebody, it'd have been Lane Kiffin. And my reasoning behind that is Lane Kiffin know how to play with athletes. He know how to put the ball in playmakers' hands. Look what he did last night. Go back and look at what he did when he was the OC at Alabama. Okay, now if you take it a step further, now go back and look what he did when he was the head coach and still calling plays at USC. Like, I'm a believer. I've been on Lane Kiffin like for the longest. I truly believe he's the best coordinator in the country.
But do you think Lane Kiffin wanted that? Because there's no pressure for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. They ain't expecting to win a championship over there. If you want to be honest.
No, I agree.
Do you think he wanted that pressure though? You know what I'm saying? Coming to Louisiana, you gotta. They expect you to win.
Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin is cocky. Lane Kiffin is very cocky. Yeah, he'd have took the pressure with no problem.
Think so?
Because he gonna do it his way.
He is cocky. I do give him that, and I think he would have been that guy we need that has that edge that we need here.
I agree.
I truly the only pushback that I would have said about Lane Kiffin at that time, because I got all this on my Twitter. You can go back and read my tweets. And the only pushback I had against Lane Kiffin, we had just had Orgeron, right? And I think that LSU needed kind of like I won't say a Brian Kelly, but we needed somebody a little bit more just kind of about football. Don't say all that crazy stuff, just about football. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Brian Kelly just is a look too far to the other end. He's too political. He's too just corny. You know what I'm saying? He's just too much of that. I think you know who I really wanted LSU to go after, and he's having success right now in Miami. I thought Mario Cristobal would have been a perfect fit for LSU. He had Oregon playing up there, man, when he was with Oregon, and he looked younger. He got a chip on his shoulder, and even Urban Meyer wouldn't have been a bad pick, to be honest with you.
I think the baggage I like Urban Meyer, but I just think the baggage with him just kind of pulled him off the market because of some of the stuff he had then. I mean, every head coach probably has something on them that they don't want to pop out.
Man, but if you dig in anybody's background, you can find something.
You're gonna find
something. Come on, I mean, I got a couple speeding tickets, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm talking about? So I mean, you can go in the that ain't see. It's about, at the end of the day, people can say all that stuff background. Man, it's about winning football games at the end of the day.
That's how I look at it.
Because if Nick Saban,
look at Steve Sarkisian in Texas, everybody was scared to take him, and Nick Saban said, "Okay, I got you, bro. Come on over here. I'm gonna rehab you, get you right." And look at Texas now.
And look at Texas now. It's a lot of different. It's a lot of different ways I thought we would have went. Brian, if you'd have told me when they fired that we was gonna fire to bring Orgeron, to bring Brian Kelly in, I would say, look, let's just try one more year with Orgeron and see what happens before we bring Brian Kelly. Like when they announced it, I was just like, and I was trying not to go racial with this either, bro. But I thought LSU would have benefited hiring a black coach. I truly think they would have benefited. I even thought Ryan Clark. I know that might sound kind of out there. I thought Ryan Clark could have did it. I think Ryan Clark could have been our Dion. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't like that, Maryland?
Nah, look, it'd be nice, but I just can't. I'm not trying to make it a racial thing, but I just cannot see LSU hiring a black coach. I hate to say that. It's too many. It's just too much politics, man.
Oh yeah, it's a
I
lot of
just
problems.
can't. I really now would it. I love to see that in my lifetime. Don't get me wrong. That'll give coaches like us, give us a chance.
Oh
If you
man,
want to, the dream to be on that high pedestal. But I just can't see that, man. I can't. Like you had people talking about, oh, LSU should make a run at Dion. It'll never happen.
That'll never happen.
Dion could go out there and win many championships he won in Colorado. I
Yeah.
promise you, it'll never happen, dog.
I tell you what, just to go down that, I guess that fantasy, just to live that fantasy for a minute, bro. How would that look though? A brand like LSU. Do you see? No, y'all check this out. They said Dion, this was like a week ago, has already brought $44 million to Colorado.
Oh, I can believe that.
See that?
$44 million, like just his impact alone. And man, like I had to that would probably be $100 million to LSU. Just from like the gear, what you call it, the paraphernalia, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, like
I look at LSU and I think it'll be big for them, but I think they look at it like, hey, we already selling out every year. Colorado, they said that was their first sellout in 3-4 years, something like that. They said the other day when they sold out for
probably ever, man. We have
Colorado
ever
State game. Yeah, they ain't nobody ever watched it. Probably
ain't nobody ever watched Colorado.
But
Shit, it's my first time in I don't know how long. I'm sitting up there every Saturday watching
Every
Colorado.
Saturday.
But the thing is, Colorado wasn't in them prime spots like they in now, too.
That's true.
12:30
That's very
game,
true.
12 o'clock games, 2:30 games,
Exactly.
night caps. You never saw that.
You never saw that because they're in that different time zone. So a lot of times they games come on like at 9 o'clock, man. Like when I'm about ready to go to bed.
You
Anyway,
watched enough football. You like, all right.
Yeah, I don't watch enough football, bro. And then, like I said, the game ain't gonna go off about midnight. So
Right.
I never make it through that, to be honest with you. I never probably made it through a Pac-12 game at night like that. But
well, it'd be nice to
dream
about it though.
It'd be nice to dream about it, but like I said, it'll never happen because first of all, like you said, I think for sure the LSU gonna give Brian Kelly one more year. I think for sure because of the contract that he has, he's guaranteed at least next year, at least.
Yeah.
But man, if I'm telling you, going into next year is going to what happens this year for the rest of the season. How we do and we finish out through this season is going to depend on how much time he got next year.
Right.
If he dropped 2 or 3 more, I guarantee you, we got and next year our schedule is probably the hardest ever in college football history. We starting off with USC and UCLA week 1 and 2. I don't know if y'all know that. That's what he got to go up against.
I knew USC was on the schedule. I didn't know about the UCLA match.
Back to back week 1 and week 2.
And that's the one that took you down. No, that was Orgeron last year.
I went to that game. Look, listen to me, man. I went to that UCLA game. I made a vacation out of it. I got pictures and everything. I went to that game and I knew it was over with for Orgeron. First of all, everybody thought we was gonna win that game. I wouldn't went out there if I thought we was gonna lose or it was even gonna be close. I thought I was gonna have me a nice little time. I did have a nice time, but that game just threw a damp on everything, right? It had a white lady leaving the game, man. And she and man, the parking setup UCLA had was like, it was ridiculous, man. Like it just like everybody just park where they want to park and we'll figure it out. That's pretty much what it was. And it was like a mile walk to the stadium. And like this white lady came out there and said, we already got screwed in the game. Now we got screwed again out here. I just knew it. I knew the temperament of those white folks leaving that game. I said, it's over. Or I knew. I said, man, it's over with. There's no way. Yeah. Everybody was mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think that's what I'm trying to say, man.
Well, UCLA. Oh,
go ahead.
No, I'm looking at their schedule for 2024. So UCLA come down here.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, but you got USC and UCLA back to back, right? Or it's a game, somebody in between there.
It's USC, Nichols, then UCLA.
Hell, that's back to back.
That's back to back, pretty much. What a little practice game against Nichols, you know. Right. No disrespect to Nichols. Nichols is over Matt Neesta today, 31-10. It just flashed across the screen. Shout out to Nichols, but it ain't gonna look good for y'all next year, man, against LSU. But man, that is some serious competition. And I see us dropping one of them games. We're gonna have a new quarterback. I, I, I think we lose to USC. I think we probably beat UCLA. That's what I think. Just depending on what we look like next year. But we're not gonna have that great of a quarterback next year like Jaden Daniels is. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's no slight to Nussmeier, but Nussmeier just not Jaden Daniels, man. You
Right.
know, he probably is a better thrower of the football, but they only can take you so far in the SEC when things break down, when you face a good defensive line and you got to create. Like that's how Bama has been winning championships the last 10 years. Like, they had some guys early on that wasn't that mobile, but once they got the Tua Tonga Valoas and those type of guys, when they really got dangerous, that's when they really was pretty much unstoppable, when they found those guys that can extend the play.
Right.
You know, that's when Bama became Bama. AJ McCarron was nice. Greg McElroy was nice, but those early Bama teams was very beatable compared to when they got Tua and what's our boy from the Eagles or
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts and them guys. That's when they really became dynamic teams. And that's what I don't think we're gonna be as dynamic last year. So I think Brian Kelly, it would be wise for him to win out, man. Only way he really saves his job, he has to win out, and he has to get to that SEC championship game. It's still very possible if we win out. I think we can still, and I think Ole Miss gonna have to lose at least one SEC game as well, and we gotta win out, and that's what's gonna determine how hot his seat is. I think it's already hot in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the seat is already warm, but if he go out here and drop a couple more games, man, y'all gonna see how much money these boosters got. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, if we go out here and drop the rest of these games, oh man, this game got pretty competitive. Or KC and the Jets have to turn around, man. I seen
Yeah,
Kansas City. Kansas City had got out to a lead for a minute.
yeah,
Yeah.
they playing some good ball right now.
I gotta find a way to get a screen in front of me. Yeah, yeah. I got it on the TV behind me, man. But we gonna see. Um, Kendall, did you get to see the Saints game today?
No, man, we meet. Well, okay,
Oh
I
yeah,
caught
y'all.
the
I forgot
first.
y'all on the same staff. I see now. I didn't know that. I didn't know you was at U High as well, bro. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not know
I
that.
caught the first. I say quarter and a half, and then I had to head to Baton Rouge so we can meet or whatever. But, um, bro, that's the worst I've seen the defense play all year.
Yeah.
Like, I never thought Baker Mayfield, after looking at stats and looking at some highlights after the game, mad respect to Baker Mayfield. He's a better quarterback than what a lot of people think. But the way the defense had been playing, I never thought Baker would come in and do what he did. And then especially when you got that first game against Tampa in the dome, you got to take advantage of that one. And me and Marilyn was talking about it earlier. I thought Jameis Winston was a better fit today than Derek Carr. I think you let Derek Carr rest, get the
Yes.
shoulder right.
That didn't make no sense.
No, you rushing
What
back to do
sense?
that.
Because
You
I don't
rushing
think
back
it's much
to
of
score
a.
9 points.
I don't exactly. I don't think it's much of a drop off between right now. My eye test, it's not much of a drop off between Jameis and Derek Carr.
Oh, not at
For us
all.
play, it's not much of a drop off. So why would you take an injured quarterback into that game? He's already hasn't been playing well through the season. Let me read you his stats. I got it pulled up here. This is Derek Carr for the season right now. Derek Carr has 80 completions to 124 attempts, 763 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions through 5 games, bro. That's through 5 games in the NFL. I mean, like I said, like I was telling Coach Maryland earlier, people criticizing Justin Fields for these same type of stats. Well, at least Justin Fields can run and run around a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like right now, especially today, first of all, when I cut the game, I'm like, wait a minute. I assumed Jameis was gonna start. I don't know if that news came out before that or what, but I assumed in my mind Jameis was gonna be the starter. Then when I see Carr out there, I'm like, man, is he healthy enough? And his play this season, based off his play this season and the injury that he had, why not try Jameis in that situation to see if he can get an offense some juice? Because that's exactly what happened last year when Jameis got off to a slow start and they put Andy Dalton into the game. That's exactly what happened. And once Andy Dalton gave us that juice, we didn't go back to Jameis. I
Right.
feel like this was our opportunity to do that without dividing the team. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? Derek Carr is hurt this week. Well, let's give Jameis the shot. We need to see if we can get an offensive spark. Because I
Right.
noticed when in that game that Carr went down and Jameis came in, it seemed like he was able to get the ball out of his hands a little quicker, put the ball in better spots than what Derek Carr has been doing. And we all know Jameis is very turnover prone, but sometimes I take that. I take that risk to get the big play sometimes.
Yeah,
You know,
because he's pushing the ball down the field more than Andy Dalton did last year.
yeah.
And Derek Carr, I think, can do that. Jameis has a big arm, bro. Like he can throw the ball down the football field. Like you say, his decision making. Every quarterback has decision making problems, but I really think, like you said, I really think Jameis should have been that guy today for sure. I even give Derek Carr off. I'm like, hey, bro, look, we'll give you off 3 weeks. Let Jameis, work the offense, get you back 100% healthy. And then, we roll back in with our starter and we paying the money to be our starter. So we got to roll him back in eventually. But I mean, I'm a fan of Jameis, man. I thought today was a perfect time to let him play ball.
Yeah, it was a perfect time to see, man, because like I said, the offense, but like I said, this is another situation with the contract. I think they have to let it play out because of the money they gave Derek Carr. And like Coach Madden said earlier, I think with that money we could have did a lot of more things on the defensive side of the ball with the D line and the O line, because that's what's struggling right now. It's like the D line and the O line is the two major issues for the Saints right now. Uh, and like I say, the money that we gave Derek Carr, I didn't feel like he was that much of an upgrade. I think we should
No.
have kind of got him like on a 1 year prove it deal. You know what I'm saying? If we was gonna give him a chance, you should have signed him to like a 1 year deal. And if he didn't want it, we could have stuck it out with James. 1 year deal, maybe 10 million, 20, whatever. I don't know what the market is, but whatever, that could have got him in there for 1 year. I think we should have did that versus committing to him the way that we did. Because anytime that the Raiders just get rid of you, say, hey man, just go ahead. We don't want nothing for you. Just go ahead, pack your stuff, and good riddance. That's pretty much what it was. Like
Oh yeah.
they
No.
sat him the last couple of games of last season. And over
Right.
I forgot what quarterback came in after. I think it was that dude from Sting. What's the dude from Auburn? A couple of years ago, I can't think of his name. Jared Stidham. I think Jared Stidham came in for
Yeah,
Derek Carr.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, he came
Um,
over. Yeah, that's right. Because he
yeah,
came
I think
with
so I'm like, man, so
yeah.
y'all gonna take Jared's whatever the dude name. I can't pronounce it, but
Jared Stidham. Yeah,
Jared
Stidham.
Stidham. Like, so y'all gonna take him over Derek Carr? I mean, I was a little nervous when that happened and we signed. I'm like, okay, well, how much more does he got in the tank? Because I mean, he's never played playoff type of caliber football before. He had 1 year where he was like in the MVP conversation. I think that was maybe like 2016. We had that 1 year. It's like, okay, that kind of made people believe in him. But outside of that, man, if you go look at his stats and James' stats for the career, they're very similar. Very similar. Which I think James Winston has more upside because I mean, look at that year. He threw 33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, man. Like, if he take half of that away, if he just take half the interceptions, that's a Pro Bowl season.
Yeah,
You
you got to
know,
get it to at least 15, like you say. Cause
you got to
God
get
damn,
to at least 15,
30
James.
interceptions.
Good guy. I'm trying to defend you, bro. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm a James Winston fan, man. Ever since Florida State, the dude always did crazy stuff. It just made me just like, man, what's wrong with this dude? But like, but he just go out there and ball. You can't like it's just like, man, you can't help but love the dude, man.
right,
Like he just that type of he a likable person, bro. And the city really embraced him. I
right,
feel like I feel like he deserved that chance just because how well he fit in with the culture of Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like he deserved that shot this today. I
right.
think he deserved that shot to go out there and prove himself and prove that he can. Because right now, I think Jameis can start for at least about 3 or 4 teams right now
Mm-hmm.
in the league right now. I mean, you look at the quarterback play. Look at our boy over there in Carolina. What's his name? The first
Bryce
round,
Young.
Bryce Young. I wasn't high on Bryce Young at Alabama. I mean, I just wasn't real high on him. And you see what C.J. Stroud is doing versus what Bryce Young is doing right now. I think there's a couple places where Jameis could go start in the NFL right now and give them some quality football. I mean, if you just look at his resume, he's never just been terrible. He had a couple games against the Saints when he was with the Buccaneers where he looked like the best quarterback in the league, man. It's like every time he played the Saints, he played his best when he was at Tampa Bay. Like I remember he had like a walk-off touchdown one time, and it was against a good team. I think that might have been the year they messed up that call, the Rams game. I think that at the end of that regular season, man, Jameis had a perfect game. Like he hit OJ Howard with a walk-off touchdown. Like the dude can ball, man. He's proven he can ball. He won a Heisman. Like I feel like they should just give him the chance that he deserved, man. Because he definitely deserved it after that season. He threw 14 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He got hurt.
Right.
And I feel like they didn't afford him the opportunity. Like I said, it's not much difference between the production of Jameis Winston and Derek Carr. I said, let me read the stats one more time, man. Through 5 games, Derek Carr has. Oh, wait a minute, do I have it up here? Okay, yeah, here it is. For through 5 games, Derek Carr has 80 completions, 124 attempts, 763 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions through 5 weeks. I don't think it can get any worse than that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got rookie quarterbacks. Look at CJ Stroud. Look at the season CJ Stroud is having. I would take CJ Stroud over anybody we got right now. I'm just being honest with you. And CJ Stroud goes number 2. I didn't understand. I don't understand this stuff, man. Like I knew CJ Stroud was the better quarterback. I'm like, come on, it's not even close. But Panthers go number 1.
Just going off of stats and numbers and Heisman, all that type of stuff. That's when everybody jumped on it. And don't get me wrong, Bryce Young is a really good quarterback. But like you said, I think C.J. Stroud is a better fit for the NFL, I say.
Oh, most definitely.
Because he's proving that right now, obviously.
Man, Bryce Young, like if you look at him physically, like I look at him like when they put the camera on him, he just looked young, man. He just looked young and just he looked shaken by the moment. You just see,
sure.
You can look at somebody's eyes and just see it in their eyes that they're not ready. You know what I'm saying? I think they might have should have let Andy Dalton start the season and then like kind of get him in there slowly. I think that's what they should have done with him, man. Because in that game against the Saints, he looked rattled, man. He had one play where he lined up over the guard to try to snap the ball, and I'm like, man, I knew then. I'm like, man, this dude not ready, man. Like y'all putting this man out there too soon. But like I said, it just right now, man. I just think I don't know. I think it's a couple quarterbacks in our division that looks better than what we got right now. Look at Baker Mayfield. Look at the way Baker Mayfield outplayed Derek Carr today.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield outplayed our $100 million quarterback. Baker Mayfield was 25 of 32, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That was his numbers on the day, bro. Like our quarterback, like Derek Carr had 64 yards up until the 4th quarter, passing for the whole game up until the 4th quarter, and he took like a couple garbage time throws that kind of got him over, make his stats actually look like something, but.
That's crazy.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be a rough year for Louisiana football, man. It's gonna be a rough year. I don't know who I got more concerns for, LSU or the Saints, bro. It's depressing, man. I can't even watch ESPN for a week straight now. You know what I'm saying? LSU, because I know they're gonna play them highlights back over from the LSU Ole Miss game, the Saints Bucks today, man. I can't even watch ESPN like I want to, bro. I just hate it, man. Usually one will make up for the other. Usually the Saints are really good and the LSU average or vice versa. This year, it's just like, man, we're gonna have a lot of long weekends, bro. That's just what it's looking like. Man, I really hope y'all boys at high go to the dome or something. I can have something to cheer for, man. You know what I'm saying? Because look, man, all the way around, man, I had a rope my mouth. And then I went down there to Tornado Alley, my tornadoes. We didn't handle our business, man. This is a bad weekend for me, bro. I might start drinking here in a minute. I'm being honest with you. I usually don't try to drink on Sundays, man, but it might have to get to that point.
Yeah.
It might have to get to that point.
Yeah.
Man. So y'all going to Mississippi, you said this week? For you high?
Yeah, man. We play a school, Lawrence County. I think it's Madison, Mississippi. I'm not for sure, but Lawrence that's County. Where we playing at. I think they only won one game this year. They played against they beat Tylertown, I think, which is normally pretty good. So I think Tylertown lost a lot from last year. So I mean, I kind of like trips like this, honestly. Feel like a playoff game. The kids get acclimated. You leave school early. Get the kids and focus on a nice little think about a 2-hour trip. But I think it'll be a good test for us, and we'll just see how we do.
Yeah, man. Y'all boys definitely got the talent. So what I always wondered is like when teams in Louisiana schedule out of state games like Mississippi, how does that even come about? Just based off what y'all know, like, cause that always interests me. I sometimes I see like the John Curtis's go to Florida and play somebody, or like how does that even come about? And it just always like I'm like, how do they do that? Because then shouldn't it mean that some team in Louisiana is not gonna have somebody to play 1 week or something like that, or
Well,
somebody
most of the time, we're talking with our head coach. Most of the time, you can't find anybody in state to play. And
really?
because sometimes you throw the name out there and say you're a Catholic or you hire John Curtis even. You throw the name out there and you call, and let's just throw it out here. Let's just say Ponchatoula had an opening. You said, okay, hey, I'm you high man, head coach over there. Look, we're looking for a game for week 3. Ponchatoula might hang up the phone on you, to be honest with you, just off of name and you know status or whatever. But usually that's how I go about. I mean, from my understanding, I think that's what it's about. I mean, Coach Maryland may know a little more
Yeah,
about it than
that's
I do.
true. Like I mean, we be calling these schools, man, and you be asking them to play. They were like, "Nah, coach, we good." That'd be their first day. Be like, "Nah, coach, we good." And they'd rather sit there and have a bye week, and and then we got to try to find somebody to play. So
Man, that's really interesting, man. Because I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. If that's just like LSU scheduling like Florida State week 1, if I just heard you high on the phone and I'm a school that's maybe got 5 wins on my schedule, I'm looking over there like I might got 5 strong wins, or maybe 4 that I might can slide in, and you high call. I said, I don't know, but I'm gonna quote Carmen Moore. That was our principal at the time at Hammer High, and he was like, I forgot we had somebody scheduled, and he was like, "Now, do y'all want to go over here and play their quarterback who can't throw a rock in the ocean, or you want some real competition?" So he took them off our schedule, and he scheduled Central out of Baton Rouge, and
Mm.
and man, that was just. I said, I understand. I kind of understand where he's going with that. You definitely want to know where you at though.
right.
You want to play somebody who know where they at, but I never knew that. I never knew that teams. I thought it was kind of like some type of like the Louisiana High School Sporting Association had like that already together or something. Like I
Nah,
thought it
look,
was just
AD,
a
it's
pool
a,
of teams that you can choose from or something like that.
yeah. I mean, you like district wise, you got to play the teams in district, like your 5 or 6 teams in district. But non-district games, man, you can play whoever you want. It's up to the head coach and the AD. They schedule those games.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It seems like y'all got a pretty good foundation over there because it's like high always been good for as long as I can remember. They always had a pretty decent team. In the last at least what 5-10 years at least.
Decent shit, man. I like it's been going on for about a good.
About
We got in the
12
game in
years, 12, 13 years.
2012. Now they been good for about the. They ain't no average Joe dog. They been done for about the last 15 years.
Yeah, because I know it was them and Southern Lab. Southern Lab kind of went down the last. I haven't heard anything about it. How is Southern Lab doing now? I know
Nah,
there's making a lot of them.
They
they
pretty
still
solid. They
they
still
They're
still
pretty
solid.
good.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I don't
I
hear
mean, you
about
just
them like
don't
I
hear
used
about them
to.
because small school ball, so they'll sneak up on you, man. They solid, bro. They solid. I think they won what? They won a state championship either last year or the year before. Huh?
Did they really?
Year before, yeah. So
Yeah,
lab, don't count them out, dog.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like I haven't. I don't know. It's like they names to ring a lot more back. That kind of like when we was playing
yeah.
and
Because you had more
everything.
big name guys, going there, but they still solid, bro. I think they got a
Mhm.
Miami commit playing safety, and they got some
They got
cats,
a
man.
lineman. Yeah, they got an Ole Miss commit on the line too.
Yeah, they got some
Man,
guys.
how y'all feel about that Baton Rouge talent out there in that area, man? Because it seemed like those are the guys that's really shining. It's that Baton Rouge area, of course, down there, in New Orleans, and we got our guys here in Tangipahoa Parish. But how is the talent compared to how's the talent out there compared to the talent in Tangipahoa Parish? Because even in the interview I did with Coach Fleet, I brought up the point to say that Tangipahoa Parish is not a big area, but we produce just as many NFL players as the Baton Rouge metro area and also the New Orleans area. So speak on like the talent, the talent level out there compared to back here, back in Tangipahoa Parish where we played ball at.
Well, now it's a 90-day difference. Baton Rouge definitely got the upper hand when it comes to talent. That, like I played in school in Baton Rouge over Tangipahoa. because I saw it. It was like a night and day difference. You know, I don't think Tangipahoa has like that elite athlete. You know that people talking about like getting recruited and all that. But in Baton Rouge, man, you got them at U High, Catholic, Madison Prep, Sutherland. Hell, you got a freshman quarterback at Dunham. Parkview got a few kids. Scholarville maybe got like one or two.
You
So
name
it's
some
definitely
dogs
a
right now.
difference,
You're
man.
right. You're right. It is like I said, it's a much more they have a lot more schools, you know. That's the point I make. Is like if you go per capita, you know what we, you know how small things are here. Like it's only 100,000 people in Tangipahoa Parish as a whole, versus over 400,000 over there in Baton Rouge alone, in the Baton Rouge metro area. So I could see, but all them schools that you name are some dogs though.
Yeah.
Scotlandville, man, you know it's nothing but talent out there. And I've been noticing that Baton Rouge area has been heating up a lot. It's like in the last, y'all been having some dogs come out of there. I mean, just dogs. Just it's even it's out of Zachary, like Chris Hilton, that player LSU from Zachary. He is
I forgot
speedster,
about
man.
Zach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
forgot about Zachary. Shit,
Yeah, I
they
forgot
full
about them.
of.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
got
and
a team
Zachary,
full of dogs, man. They good. Good
and I'm
football
still
team.
watching out for their quarterback, man. The dude who went to Alabama. What's his name?
Holstein.
Who that?
Holstein.
Holstein. Eli
Holstein.
Yeah.
Man, he lit Ponchatoula up in the dome, man. That's when I didn't even know that he was like a 5-star quarterback or anything. I just started watching it. I said, man, this dude is is dropping dimes. I mean, because Ponchatoula had got up maybe like about 20 points at one time, and the dude just started just shredding them, man. I said, man, he's like one of the best quarterbacks I've witnessed in Louisiana.
I ain't
Like,
gonna lie, bro. Speaking of that game, that was my first time seeing Ponchatoula play. And when I went to the dome, I was on the sideline, me and two of my other guys. And I'm sitting there looking at Ponchatoula. I couldn't believe the size that Ponchatoula had. I thought Ponchatoula should have beat Zachary that night. They had the
probably
skill
should
guy.
have.
You sent three receivers D1. One went to Michigan. One ended
Doing
up
pretty good too.
one went to Southeastern. And there was another one with somewhere. They had a running back.
Yeah. Matthews went to Texas A&M. Safety.
Jacoby Matthews. Yeah, he
Jacoby
ended up
Matthews.
in up. But I
But
was
you,
looking. I was like, dog, I did not know Ponchatoula look like this.
but you want me to tell you what it is, man? This is the problem we having here in Hammond. I'm trying to do something about it. What's happening is a lot of our Hammond guys is going to Ponchatoula now.
Really?
And so yes, that team that you talking about had 8 starters from Hammond. And 8 starters. You know, they got the majority rule now.
Yeah, I knew.
So,
Yeah.
so schools that has a lesser population of either race, the kids have a choice of transferring to equalize that out.
Mm-hmm.
And that really hurt tangible football across the board, because now a lot of Hammond guys are going to Ponchatoula, like, and that was pretty much a tangible whole team that year. They had guys from Tangy. I think they had a couple even from New Orleans, because their coach at the time, Hank Tierney, he's back at Shaw now. He's a Louisiana legend.
Yeah.
You know, he was bringing guys from New Orleans, and had 8 starters, at least 8 starters from Hammond on that team, man. It was just it gives you a glimpse of what could be for especially for Hammond High if we keep our talent in state, and that just shows you the talent that we got here, that we can go compete with a Zachary,
Right.
out of Baton Rouge, who's probably way better funded than the schools here in Tangipahoa. And you know that firsthand. Like, when it comes down to facilities, we don't have that here in
You ever saw
Tangipahoa.
Zachary facilities?
I've seen they field. I've never been in the actual. They feel look like those Texas schools out there, like the stadium. The stadium itself look like those Texas schools out there. Is it nice?
Zachary, West Monroe, Walker,
Pretty nice, yeah. Because Walker School fairly new, ain't it?
Denham Springs,
Live Oak.
Live Oak.
I've been to Live Oak. They got it going on out there.
I might be missing somebody.
And they just built that Live Oak school.
Yeah.
Because Hammond High, we had the jamboree out there, and I'm walking like, wait a minute, what I'm pulling up to, man? And they got the lights, they got. I see Coach Fleet hit me up here. That's what I just told him, Coach Fleet. Most of the Ponchatoula players, even still to this day, is from Hammond. So we pretty much seeing Hammond High School over there in Ponchatoula right now, man.
Yeah.
But the talent is definitely here in Tangipahoa Parish, man. And y'all out there in Baton Rouge, y'all, man, y'all in the right now. I think y'all in one of the most talented places. Like I said, Madison Prep been putting out on athletes. Zachary, U High, man, it's just a talent, and that's where it's going back to what we were talking about earlier with Brian Kelly. That's where he need to focus at.
Right.
Really, if he locked down Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, and pluck a couple out of Tangipahoa and up north, up there in Shreveport and all them places like that, man, you could. And he's done that in this class here, the class that's coming up this year. He's done that pretty well, but he still hasn't got those who's guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He have, I think what he's mistaken though, he thinks that he can just come in here and just recruit Louisiana guys and be okay. Well, some positions they don't make well in Louisiana, like quarterback. We got to go out the state to probably get a quarterback. Let's be real about it.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow, we have to go get Joe Burrow to win a championship. Matt Flynn came from over there from Texas. You know what I'm saying? I think he's from that Dallas area, Matt Flynn. You know what I'm saying? So certain positions we just not gonna produce in Louisiana.
Right.
But as far as DB wide receiver, man, look, get off these tight ends, man. I promise you, you're not about to win a championship with tight. I'm just sorry, bro. I'm sorry. This is no disrespect. Even Georgia right now got Brock Byers, who's probably the top tight end in the country, and they still look mediocre. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the speed they had at receiving. You could tell they don't have that explosiveness on offense.
Right.
You cannot build a great team through tight ends in the SEC. That might can work at Notre Dame playing Indiana and Iowa State and teams like that. It may work in that conference, but it's not gonna work here, man. I think this year he already signed 2 tight ends. Hey, what's the point of that? Like I said previously, like you can get an athletic left tackle, put him out there tight end from time to time if you just needed a tight end. That shouldn't be your focal point.
Right.
It just shouldn't be your focal point. That's why the rest of our positions is suffering right now. That's why DB is suffering. That's why receiver is suffering. Because after these guys, I don't know who's after them. After Brian Thomas, they probably leaving this year. More than likely, Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas is probably gone after the seasons they having this year.
Right.
So who we have after those guys? Chris Hilton is probably still there, but they're not getting the ball as much as to him as they should.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be that's y'all in a good area, man. Y'all definitely in a good area. I said if y'all ever want to bring some of the players on, like I had a guy for last week from Ponchatoula. He came on here and said a couple things, and some of the Fountain Blue kids started DMing me, like, man, let us on the show and let us defend ourselves. And I told them, man, I said, man, y'all got to get the approval of y'all coach, because I don't want to bring y'all on here, start something, and then your coach don't know about it, then your coach mad at me, then I don't want to ruin that particular relationship. But they want to come on here and defend themselves, man. But like I said, man, it's
Yeah, man. There's some talent in Baton Rouge, bro. Like I say, and we all played in Tangipahoa Parish, so we know what it's about. And I know the years we played, A-Meat probably had a team full of cats that could have played college football somewhere. A few NFL guys for sure. Kentwood always had that. We didn't really go north, so we didn't really see. We didn't really play Hammond, play your Ponchatoula's. We didn't really play in that area. I mean, I think St. Thomas was pretty much the only team that we would, play from that area. Everything else was, you know, back on the opposite end of Tangipahoa Parish. But man, there was always some talent on all of those football teams, bro.
it was.
I just remember middle school ball playing. That middle school district was everybody. It was Kentwood, it was A-Mead, it was Hammond, it was Ponchatoula, Easton.
I remember that. We
All
sure
those
did
schools.
play everybody. We
Yeah, you
did
played
play everybody.
everybody.
And you know what I would love to see them to bring back? I would love to see them bring that Tangelina Jamboree back.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they ever stopped that, because that was the only time to where we would play teams that we wouldn't play that was normally scheduled. You'll see a Hammond play Independence or whatever the case might have been at that time, man. I was talking to somebody about that. I'm gonna reach out to the school board to see if we can get that game back played, because now we have to go. Everybody's spread out now. Like, I can't see how Independence looked this year. We used to be able to come to Strawberry Stadium and see how everybody looked. See, now y'all probably played that. Y'all probably
We
played in
did.
the Tangerina Jamboree. Now, by the
We
time
did.
I got to school, they had already separated.
Yeah.
So I remember growing up watching it, and it seemed like they just got rid of it, man. I just really want to see that come back because we don't have that. We don't have that game no more. It's bringing the whole parish together. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
we played it. I think yeah, my what is it? My might have been my junior year, sophomore year, one of the two. We played it at Strawberry Stadium 2 years in a row, I think. And then my senior year, that's when they started bouncing it from school to school, and we ended up playing. Actually, we played it in Laronja that year because it was us, Kentwood, A Meek, Saint Helena. Was it Hammond and Ponchatoula or no? Who
I
was in it,
think I
man?
think I think
I think
Hammond and
it was something
Ponchatoula.
independence.
Something independent. I
Yeah,
think
because
I don't think Hammond and Ponchatoula was really in it as much because I know when we was there, it was always all the schools from my end of the town. As far as like you say, Laranja, Sumner, Kentwood, Saint Helena, Independence. Those schools. Amy, but man, you talk about fun, bro. You go there, you get to watch. Like you said, you see everybody at one. You get to fans of just high school football, they got to go watch everybody in one night. You don't do that now.
right, you don't do that no more,
Yeah.
and it kind of took the excitement out of it. It
Yeah,
kind of
it's
took the
crazy.
excitement out the parish. And man, shouts out to Independence Night. Independence got their first win. We all know what a powerhouse Independence was back in the day. Independence beat Dale High. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was 16-6, if I'm not mistaken. It's gonna come around here in a minute. But shout out to Independence getting their first win, man. It's been a rough year for them. I would love to see Independence become what they used to be. Because I don't think the parish is gonna be the parish hasn't been the same since Independence went down. Because you remember what type of rivalry that Amy Independence game was.
Yeah.
It was big time. Also, a shout out to Kentwood. Kentwood over Amy 13-7. And what was y'all score again for the viewers?
49-14.
49-14. And y'all Wolves got the win 27-20 over Liberty Magnet. Yeah, so Independence beat Delhi 16-6. My Tornadoes, man, I was there 23-0. And some have been balling this shit. Some have been putting up 50 on everybody. I don't know. I got to get down there to see something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the strength of the schedule, but they've been balling. I mean, they've been dropping 40 on everybody. Since I'm serious, I've been having the scores, and man, I don't know what's going on down there, but I'm gonna try to get y'all huddle up here in a minute. But like I said, man, I played Hammond versus St. Paul highlights, and I played Ponchatoula versus North Shore. I tried to pull y'all's up on huddle, but the highlights didn't come up for the game that y'all just played for some reason.
How long ago you did it?
It was about a little earlier. It was maybe about a couple hours before I got on here.
Oh, okay, it might be up now. You probably got to just double check.
Let me try. I could try it because I definitely because I wanted y'all to break it down for me. Let's see. University Lab. But it's a cool feature. I can actually bring on like the highlights on here. Let's see. Highlights. Yeah, y'all. What I'm looking for is the game recap. That's what I'm looking for. Now we can go.
And
If
it
I can
usually
pull,
pop up too. Like you're usually able to see it as soon as you click.
I have y'all against mentorship. That's the last one they got posted.
Hmm. Okay.
I mean, if y'all wanna break that, I tell you what I could do. I could play that one.
Yeah, you can run that.
And let's see. Let me put y'all in on here just to give the viewers a little bit of what y'all got going on down there, man. Give me 1 second. That's if y'all don't mind. If y'all don't mind.
Oh yeah, I got a
Nah,
few
go
minutes.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this gonna be it because we almost hitting the 3 hour mark. I try to keep it under 3 hours. But here we go right here. Wait a minute. Is this it? No, that's Ponchatoula. What y'all see right now? Okay,
Yeah,
University.
you got it up.
This is U-High versus Mentorship Academy.
Hey, this is the first play of the game right here. This is just a quick
I tell you
screen.
what. Let me kill the the audio on this 1 second. I want to hear y'all what y'all got to say. All right, it's back playing, fellas.
Man, just basically a ton of screen time receiver number 2, Granville Anderson. It was just really the first play of the game, his first touchdown of the season as well.
Okay.
Let's see. We had Trey. Okay, another now screen to our number 2 receiver. That's senior. That's Seth Gale. I think he's maybe 5 or 6 touchdowns away from holding this school record for receiving touchdowns in the career.
Shouts out to him, man. That's big, especially some of the athletes that came through that.
This was actually fumble recovery was our Navy. Harry Beecham was our inside linebacker. Pretty solid player too, man.
Let's see what we got. Oh, that was just a line. That's Lions, what we call our 4-verse play. And we just ran up the seam, man. It was just wide open. The safety didn't play it the right way. Did just another little play action pass.
Nice design.
All the Spider-Man, man, with a leap from the tailback. And he just released out like a slow leap.
That's a nice design. And you are the OC, right?
No, receivers coach and passing.
Oh, you're the receivers coach. Okay, I got you.
Man, just a little counter run right here. Riley Small, he bounced it out.
Man, he brought the fight right there.
Let's see. It might be our second string right here. Let's see.
Yeah,
so play action boot called Pepper.
No, that's great.
Oh, that's Graves. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Graves. So just Pepper, we had a backside post, and he just took the one-on-one mismatch. What we got here? Another tunnel screen to our sophomore receiver, Charles Musgrove.
Okay. And they didn't have the stats right there. Yeah, I see they'd be very touchy with that one.
Yeah.
They'd be very touchy with that one, bro.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me bring y'all back in. There we go. Yeah, man. I said, man. Yeah, let's see. We got Coach Fleet. Coach Fleet came in all late. What's going on, Coach Fleet?
What's up, man?
It's time to go to bed now, man.
It's right. It's about time to tuck the kids in now, man.
Track of time, man. That's what I was just mentioning, like kid.
Man, just real quick, man. Give us your take on what you've seen this weekend, football wise.
Football? We talking high school or what?
Just go anywhere you want to go with it. Let's see, we got about 10 more minutes.
As far as high school, man, our area got to do a little better, man. We got to do better with the coaching out here in our area. I'm gonna go ahead and speed to college. LSU, that defense look bad. Very bad.
We just went a couple hours on that. Where you might have to disconnect from your Wi-Fi. You might have to. Well, you actually okay right now. But yeah, man, we just talked about that, man. I think Brian Kell on the hot seat. You know, I already know how I feel about it. I think Jaden Daniels is a Heisman candidate. I think the defense is really letting him down right now, and I think we need to change in New Orleans at quarterback. I think Jameis Winston might give us the spark that we need on offense right now. What you think about those things?
I say might as well go with Jameis. Oh God, the other guy hurt, so we might as well go with Jameis. Get another spark, man. Everybody need a spark now in Louisiana. From the college to the pro team, they need a spark. Something need to change. So
you're right about that. We definitely need to change on like I said, I don't went into detail extensively, about the changes we need, especially at LSU. Because at LSU, I believe it's more of a want to. They don't have that spirit that we used to have in at LSU. It's not that same spirit of we LSU, we about to show up, we about to dominate, we about to be the best team on the field. I don't see that no more at LSU, and that's a problem.
I don't think Kelly's style fits the players, the personality of the players, if that makes sense. The team that we used to seeing throughout the years, I don't think his personality fits that.
And that's kind of what we discussed as a whole, man. It's that's the point I was making earlier, man. Is it a fit? Like I said, Orgeron, Coach Malin made a good point. He said he thought that we moved on from Orgeron too quickly and not really realize what we was getting ourselves into with Brian Kelly. And I think that might be the case, man. Is can your message translate to the players, and can you get them all playing on the same accord? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's
Yeah,
what we're missing right now, bro. It just don't look good. It just don't look good in Baton Rouge. It don't look good in New Orleans. It's almost the same problem, man. Like, and I was talking about Coach Kelly being on the hot seat, and we all know how big that contract is, but once you piss people off in Louisiana, man, you gotta hey, something gonna give eventually. And and they say, we talking about that buy with Origin Run. I said, man, my opinion is I don't think it's a man, them boosters will write that check if we ain't got the right guy. I truly believe that. And it's gonna depend on what happens going forward with this season. And he gonna have to get together real quick next season because USC coming in here. Caleb Williams talking
yeah,
about coming back another year if the right person don't draft him. That would be a terrible thing for LSU. You know what I'm saying? If Caleb Williams decide to come back, man, you know what? I'm just gonna be like, you know what? We can't catch a break. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's about the only chance we're gonna have to really beat USC, in my opinion,
I
next
had
year.
a tough schedule next year, man. They got UCLA on there too. Yeah,
Exactly. And we got Nichols right between them. So Nichols gonna catch the brunt of all our anger, bro.
yeah.
So I said, man, it's a tough week for Louisiana sports. It's a real tough week. Did you get a chance to see the highlights I just played for you, high?
I caught the end of it. I
You
didn't
caught
get a
the
chance to
end?
look at. Yeah, I caught the end of it.
Yeah, man, they looking pretty good over there, man. We got Coach
I've been
Maryland. We
hearing
got
about 'em
what's
for
that?
sure. I've been hearing about them though for sure. They're talking Baton Rouge right now.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what you're talking about. All that talent they got down there, man. Like I said, we got Coach Maryland with us. We got Coach Kendall Sibley. This been my boys for a long time, man. It's good. Hey, Kendall, it's good to see you, man. It really is, bro. Yeah, man. I ran into your brother maybe about a couple months ago at Quickway over there. We talked for a couple minutes, man. Oh, but it's definitely good to have y'all guys on here, man. And like I said, I wish y'all all the best. You saying something? I didn't hear what you said. It's like you on mute. Hold on 1 second. For, I can't hear what you're saying. Hold up. I don't know why I can't hear your audio right now. I'm not sure why. Let me see. Unmute you. Go ahead.
Still mute. Can't
I
hear
don't
him.
know why we can't hear him right now, man.
Mhm.
But if we can't figure it out,
He-
mute then unmute. I don't know why. I don't know why. Let me see if I can take him out. Say something now.
He's still mute.
Oh, he's still muted, man. Look, like I said, it's almost toward the end, but look, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you coming on, and we do this like every Sunday. We do this every Sunday at 7. I try to be on time from 7 to about 10. I try to do about 3 hours. That way, give people enough time to come in, give their opinion. We had a couple comments tonight, that we shared to our viewers. Shout out to my niece. My niece came up in here. She probably want me to cash out with some money. That's why she coming here. I got a text message right now. Shout out to my niece for commenting. Shout out to everybody on the live. Shout out to our coaches. We got Coach Fleet of Miami Fitness. We got Coach Maryland and Coach Kendall Sibley of U High. They out there balling right now. Shout out to all our tangible whole athletes. All the scores at the bottom for all the North Shore parishes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't get y'all U High score in there, but I will have it on here next week.
Oh, it's
I
good,
will.
man. It's
I
good.
will have y'all on here. I will have y'all score on here next week. And that's it, man. If it's a way that y'all can give me them highlights before we come on, I'm gonna make sure I put on for y'all, man. Because like I said, I did the Hammer High versus St. Paul. I did Ponchatoula versus North Shore. All the schools that I can find their highlights easily on Huddle. I can have it on here. I'm not gonna share the LSU and Saints highlights no more because they flagged my videos on YouTube. I can't do that. That's
For real?
copyright. Yeah, yes. I don't know how, bro. They got technology now, dog. And they can tell when I use ESPN footage, and they flag the videos. So I'm in danger of my account being suspended for 90 days.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
but it's tight though. Like if you go back and watch that live I did last night, I pretty much gave down like a Scott Van Pelt breakdown of LSU highlights. I could just played it and I kind of commentated to it last night. It's unique. I might keep doing it, to be honest with you. I might just do it on Facebook because I know this Facebook don't flag it. Facebook and Twitter don't flag my stuff, but if I put it on YouTube like that with the ESPN highlights, they'll flag it. But you know, man, but I don't want to hold y'all guys too long, man. I know y'all got to get up and get it in the morning. I'm at home. I'm back in studio. I'm finally out that semi truck. You know what I'm saying? I know the last couple of lives was in my semi truck, and I appreciate y'all for bearing with me for that quality. When I'm home, it's a lot better quality, man. So I'm home. I should be home for good now. I have a local gig popping off now. So like I said, I appreciate y'all joining North of the Lake. And man, hey, let's all keep in touch, man. I might start a group chat with all of us so we can keep in touch and everything. Hey, make sure I get Kendall number, bro. Coach.
Okay.
If you can send it over to me, man. We're gonna start a little group chat. We can all stay in the loop together, man. But look, I appreciate y'all boys for joining Coach Fleet, even though you came late, man. We appreciate you. And I'll probably call you in a minute. We probably talk some more football. Man, we talk football all day long, man. And that's what inspired me to do this. Me and him would get on the phone, man, and hours would go by. I'm like, Will, I said, it got to the point. I said, man, we gotta start getting this on camera, bro. Like, there's no reason why we should be breaking down football like this and not having it on camera, man. So, like I said,
that's what me and Sid, we do the same day, bro. We talk ball like all day almost, bro. That's all we do. Talk ball.
Hey, ball is life, man. And it don't matter how long it's been since we played it. It's just still part of my day. Right. I wake up in the morning feeling like I want to hit somebody. Right. You know, for real. Right. I think it's for real, man. I just I be seeing people in the grocery store just want to just go up and just, you know what I'm saying? Do y'all feel like that or just me? Like you just be in the grocery store just ready to hit somebody sometimes. I be ducking in the aisle.
Body be aching. I can't do all that no more.
I try to stay in pretty good shape, man. I try to stay in pretty good shape, but hey, I didn't hit that 30 wall for sure. I understand what it is now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, you hit that you hit 30, it's like, okay. You ain't old, but you definitely ain't 18 no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? You ain't about to go out there and just give them a whole flag football game like you used to. You ain't about to do that no more. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen. You ain't going both ways like Travis Hunter.
Right.
You ain't gonna do that. You is not gonna do that right now. Man, but like I said, man, once again, I appreciate y'all joining me. I appreciate all our viewers. Like I said, we could do it again Sunday at 7 p.m. That's gonna be the regular time. And like I said, sometimes I just go live when I just get angry at certain stuff. You know, like last night, I ain't planning live. So if y'all ever want to join that, I send y'all the links every week. Anybody that's watching, if you want to come on, I can bring you on just like our guests, and you can get on here as well, and you can debate us. You can debate the coaches. I'll let you have your one-on-ones, whatever you want to do, whoever you want to take on. But y'all better come with it because we all football heads. So don't come on here with the half takes and all that type of stuff. So have your information together. That's all I'm gonna say. But hey, look, man. Once again, I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, good luck going into this week's game, and I'll definitely be looking for y'all, man. And I'm looking forward to next week, fella.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right.